What is going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you see me. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, there we go. Let me know if you're there. You knew last time I was messing with my mic. We had some issues. But hopefully we don't have issues today. We have a couple of things to talk about. I'm super excited because we had an amazing showcase yesterday that I want to talk about today. And also, we have some cool, not so cool business news, but some interesting business news at least. I'll give my perspective on that. Hold on, let me get this camera working. So I'll be giving my perspective on that. And don't worry, it's not necessarily. I think it's not necessarily a bad thing. So we'll be talking about that. Then we'll be opening the lines. And yeah. So hopefully everybody is doing well. It's been a long week for me. It's been a long, hot week here in New York. So hopefully y'all did not have such a heat wave as we did up here. But yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. Let me see who's in chat. Rabolica was first, just lurking. I hear you, Rabolica. How are you? And thank you again, Rabolica, for joining us last Sunday for the tournament with XBI Espanol. Even though we did not take first, y'all, we did take second, and we're gonna challenge them again in July. So we'll see what's going on. What's going on, Rouster? You'll be playing Orcs Must Die later with Zalek. All right. Hopefully you can show her the ropes, and hopefully she will be joining us. But no pressure, Zalek, if you can't. We always love to see orc killers. What's going on, Ambi? It is the correct stream, Rouster. Of course it is. Noisy, what's going on, Noisy? I'll be talking a little bit about EXO, but it won't be bad. I just do it because we're testing out titles. Hey, Hobie, Rose, Kenobi, how are you? Thank you. Waving back, hey Vet, you set me up for failure. I had the first place in all these great comments. What? How? I didn't see them. Robolico was first, and then find out that they were posted in a fake. There's a wrong stream. I didn't do that. I didn't do it. There's 2 streams. I didn't do it. Blame Restream. Blame Restream on that. On you can get upset with me on the playthroughs, but the podcasts are done through Restream. The playthroughs are like OBS, so I got to be a little bit more. It's more effort on my part. That was first. This is. I'm sorry. Joe, what's going on? That rigged. I want to recount. Do you? Second out of 2. Noisy. No one's counting. Perp, are we going to hear some fake news errors from bums like Dream from that don't know anything about what they're talking? I don't know. Everybody keeps talking. Who is talking to me about Dreamcast guy? Johnny Roadkill. He did a video about Dreamcast guy and those takes. I don't know this guy. Like, he doesn't normally show up on my feed. Maybe he does, but I find issue with. I'm weird. Like, I don't mind if you take a side in console war stuff. I find a problem when you take a side. Like, if you're like, I love. This is an example, right? If you're saying something like, I'm a Atari dude, but you're showing up for Xbox, I have an issue with that. Just call yourself Xbox dude. You know what I mean? Or like, but this he's called Dreamcast guy. So, right, this is obviously like Sega Dreamcast, but you're showing up for PlayStation. Like, just change your name. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. I find things like that in my world. It's too much. How PlayStation is dead? No, I don't know if I will. I don't think PlayStation is dead. I am going to be talking about Microsoft a little bit. Do I have anything for PlayStation? Not really. They're just not doing anything. So maybe that's what you mean by dead. Does Vet get his co-host position? I don't know about that one, Vet. Hey, Joe. What's going on? Microsoft is Valve and SteamOS. Maybe. Does it mean that Vet has more credit now than most? Why, yes, it does. I don't know about that one, Vet. Thanks for showing up, though. Anyone else audio in and out? Oh, is my audio in and out? Y'all let me know. Because I was doing something with the microphone, and The volume does seem to go up and down. All right, let me. Y'all are being so sensitive. What about now? Let me know. Let me know about now. Let me know about now. Put the link to the stream from the other one. There's two streams? That's so weird. That is so weird. That is God mode now that I don't live stream. What? Yeah, the highs and lows keep changing. Really? I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, I'm gonna try to stay in this position the rest of the stream. Okay, I'm gonna try to stay right here. And hopefully it works. AV is good on my end. All right, Obi. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna try. But to kick off this stream, hey, Jack of all trades, what is going on? For some reason, I was thinking about you when I saw one. I went through my N64 collection. I was and you came to mind. Not that you mentioned this game or anything, but because you're kind of doing something interesting about your titles, and so it gave me an idea. So, but with that said, all right, let's kick this off. I forget what I titled this. I know there's some Xbox news. I know there's some Hellblade news, but I know, there's some Little Nightmares news. That's like this. If you get nothing from this, Little Nightmares 3 had a showcase just for Little Nightmares 3, and I thought they did an amazing job. So we're going to be talking all things that. We're going to be talking a little bit about some gaming industry stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit about, I think there's some Nintendo stuff in there too. So let's kick it off like this. Where do y'all want to start? Like, I don't know, Purple. Let's start with you. All right, we're going to start with the least exciting news. Some people find this exciting. I don't necessarily find it exciting because I didn't find the game that exciting. But with that said, we did have a game launched this week that some people are claiming is Game of the Year. Without further ado, that's Death Stranding 2. Can y'all see me now? Death Stranding 2 released this week. I kind of played Death Stranding 1 a little bit. It did frustrate me, I'm not going to lie. But some people say that's the charm of the game. But they're saying Death Stranding 2 came out. Roughly like a 90 Metacritic score. So that puts it basically in the running for Game of the Year. It's a Kojima game. And I feel like Kojima, I don't know, y'all. Like this guy, he tries to be controversial on purpose, and it's just not. But it works. He has a following, and let me know if y'all have played Death Stranding 2. It came out today or yesterday. I have not. I don't know if I will. Like, I feel like Death Stranding seems more like it's apt for like a Netflix series. There's some games like this that I just feel like are better in another medium, but I know we have Lotus Esprit, who is really looking forward to this game. So I'm really hoping they're playing this game. And hopefully they come by and let us know. But let's see, what about the scrolls or the O is not? What are you talking about? Death Stranding 2 is not Game of the Year. Oh my goodness, Vet. Have you played it? Isn't Death Stranding just a walking? What does a walking simulator mean? I don't know. Hey, Crow, what's going on? I don't know what this means. I'm just letting y'all know. Miss Fragments, Sour Blow, we're going at you again. Last Sunday of July, we're going at Sour Blow. Apparently, it's 10 times better than the first. How's that even possible? And Ambi, thank you for the gifteds. Ambi. Super awesome. Hey, our gifteds are working again, so that's always a good thing. But thank you. Noisy, how's that possible? How can it be 10 times? What does that even mean? Is it 10 times longer? Is it 10 times like I can move better? Like the music is good. Like, no. Let me put that back. The music in Death Stranding reminds me of like some beach resort in the desert. I know that's an oxymoron, but go with me. A beach resort in the desert, and you're in like this hotel. It has this weird ambient music. That's the Death Stranding music, in my opinion. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I don't see that in your normal Pac-Man game. But yeah, so like I thought that was cool, but obviously they're saying it's Game of the Year material. We'll see. A lot of game of the years being thrown out, right? We have the one that we're going to be talking about this one as well later on. The turn-based one that came out not too long ago. Um, they're saying that one's really good. There's a couple of others. I never remember these when I always forget these. I never got into Death Stranding, so I won't be playing this game. Looks great, just not my. But but it doesn't. If it's not fun, this is the issue I had last year with Hellblade 2. Like beautiful, 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 beautiful. But it just seemed like I was being held back. Like I couldn't move. You know what I mean? And I would say Hellblade 2 is more exciting than Death Stranding. So you probably know where I sit on Death Stranding too, right? Like, I don't know. But people are like, oh, it's Kojima. It has to be really good, right? It's like Kojima. And I'm like, I guess. But to Kojima followers, Obi Rose loves Metal Gear Solid. So maybe, right? But again, I'm like, we're so far away from what that was. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He deliberately said the playtesters like the game, so he's like, let me change it up. I want to be controversial. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, it seems like a thing, like someone who wants to be an artist does to be controversial. You know what I mean? And it's like, you didn't have to do that. Like, you know what I mean? But I guess, I mean, that's what the people like. And people care about his gaming opinions more than mine. So take it with a grain of salt what I say. I don't say it like that. Saw Lotus yesterday. Apparently he played 12 out. What? The game just came out. Well, look, so Lotus is enjoying it, Noisy. If Lotus is enjoying it, I'm fine with it. Like I said, as long as people enjoy it, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Xbox International too. Xbox International was playing Death Stranding. I gotta admit, we ready. Vistic, are you ready? Oh my goodness. We're coming this time. We saw your little plan. We saw y'all. I know most people that didn't like the first game love the second. Most people that didn't like the first game love the second. Noisy, I don't. All right, Noisy. It's not kind of like, we'll see. I mean, I'm happy for it. I'm happy he's doing well, right? I think the gaming industry I would rather have the gaming industry have games they're looking forward to do well than have games they're looking forward to do bad. Other people like that the other way around. But no, I'm happy for it. I just think for me, I don't know, the baby always creeped me out in that game. Like, I don't know, like I always felt like it was trying to tell me something, like a deeper meaning, but I could never unpack it because I was always upset because I had to walk to places and do weird paths. I don't know. Let's go. Love Mel's hates no lows. Hates. Wow. Game is cheeks. Wow. Johnny Roadkill, we were talking about you earlier, Johnny. We said how you aspire to be Dreamcast guy. So y'all, Johnny Roadkill, Dreamcast guy, like this 2 pizzas in a pod. Just kidding. Just got. Oh, Xbox International got a. Oh, Louis, he did. Oh, that's great. All right, so we'll see. We'll see. Death Stranding too. Lotus is the one. Lotus is like a very interesting viewer. I feel like they always are looking forward to things that like aren't on my radar per se. So I've been following this for the update from Lotus. So shout out to Lotus Esprit for doing that. All right. So that's. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments later. Are y'all Death Stranding 2? Is it something you're looking forward to? It's not. Doesn't seem like anybody in chat's actually played it, but I will be interested to hear people's opinion about it because I did throw in about a good 10 to 15 hours in the first one earlier this year. So there is that one. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is like kind of like going back to a controversial take I took last week. And when I say controversial take, I really don't mean that, but I did get some feedback from it. And that is Square Enix is going back to its roots with turn-based RPGs. All right, I just want to say this again. Square Enix is going back to its roots, its turn-based RPGs. That is all thanks to Claire Obscure Expedition 33. If you remember, last week on this channel, what did we say? We said Square Enix, specifically with Final Fantasy, right, was trying to do too much. It lost its identity. And we used Final Fantasy as a kind of model of that, where you have multiple different game styles. And what they've ended up doing was alienating their player base, right? They didn't bring it along. I'm not saying you can't experiment, but when you go from like being a company that was known for like kind of inventing the turn-based RPG style, which we talked about last week, to a company now that you're kind of competing in the action RPG element, you lose an identity. And that was a Square Enix problem. Again, we were saying Final Fantasy was not an Xbox, even though it didn't sell well on Xbox, not an Xbox issue, not a PlayStation issue, a Square Enix issue. And this article and the updates from Square Enix kind of bore that out, play it out. So again, if you're gonna survive in gaming today, you have to have an identity. You have to have a player base. You have to have a fandom. You have to have people who want to come to your property. Because right now there are more distractions, or there are more competitors, or there are more alternatives for the player's time. Whether that's social media, whether that's other games, whether that's like TV shows and the ability to binge TV shows. There are just more things than ever right now that gaming's having to compete against. And people like familiarity, and people also like innovation. But you can't innovate too much, and you can't be too much of the same. Square Enix tried to innovate, in my opinion, a little too much, and this is what has happened to them. So it kind of makes sense. We heard Square Enix was kind of stepping away from a couple of projects they had with other studios. So I'm thinking about Outriders. Square Enix, if y'all remember correctly, Square Enix published that game. People Can Fly developed the game, but that relationship has been dissolved. And this makes sense. Like Square Enix is going back to what's got Square there in the first place. The question is going to be, have people moved away, right? Claire Obscure 33 has turned people who are normally not into turn-based RPG players into turn-based RPG players. People who are old school RPG or turn-based RPG players are there again. So it seems like maybe that boat sailed. I don't know if there's any goodwill left, at least in that genre with Square. But again, legendary name. I'm happy to see it go back to its roots, especially right now. I think in gaming, you have to have like, what is your identity, and really build upon that identity. So as much hate as I gave Square last week, I am giving them kudos, because it's never too late to try to turn it around. So that is Square Enix. All right. So, but let me know, what do y'all think? Is this something you like? Never played Death Stranding. Let's make a Shades of Purple video game. Maybe. They're going back because Expert. So glad they are. Yes, they are. Johnny, you were playing that. Johnny played that game like for 2 months, it seemed like. I think I'm going to play Expedition. After all, I roll credits on South of Midnight. I thought you already did. I thought you beat South of Midnight before me, Simpleton. That you beat it before me. I have not heard anything negative about Expedition 33. Speaking of Game of the Year contenders, Expedition 33 is up there, right? So I think we have 4 legit Game of the Year contenders right now. Expedition 33, Blueprints from the indie side, what is this game called? Death Stranding 2. And there's another one that came out around like March, April, that I cannot think of. But people like that one too. So yeah, so shout out to the good games coming. You know, I'm obviously Blueprint so far, but we shall see. We shall see. I don't know why I can't talk today. I did just come back from a dinner and drinks, so maybe that has something to do. But normally I don't talk weird after that. But with that said, let's get into some kind of not so good news. And here we go. Donad Montreal has second round of layoffs after the union intervened the first time. So basically, what this is saying is Donut, they're the ones with Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. They are doing the second round of layoffs. So more independent studios, more smaller type of studios, and we like Donut, right? They do solid storytelling. I think Donut, I put in kind of like the top five uh game devs that do storytelling. Obviously CD Projekt Red is up there, Donut is up there, really all of the Focus Entertainment properties. uh there's a couple of PlayStation groups that are up there, but for sure, like I said, Donut's up there, and they are doing another round of layoffs. And I wanted to couch this with another company that we heard about doing layoffs, unfortunately. Yep, that's the big one. Microsoft plans major job cuts at Xbox gaming division. Again, I don't have issues with Xbox. I have all the issues with Microsoft. But let's dive into this a little bit. Okay. Again, we've talked about this in the beginning of the year. It was actually one of my top 10 predictions for this year, which was specifically Xbox layoffs, Xbox price increases. Even though we have not seen an Xbox Game Pass price increase yet this year, we have seen the layoffs hit this year, and I do expect the price increase to come within the next 3 months. And some people are like, but Purple, Xbox just told us that they're going to start buying more game studios. They might buy publishers. And I just want to put this to rest right now, right? Which, in at least from my side of things, I've been somewhat very skeptical about Microsoft since they went on this huge buying spree. And the reason I was been very skeptical is because very rarely have like big time buyouts worked out. They just don't, right? And so if we think about Bethesda and we think about ABK, I could make this just about Bethesda. A lot of times you're chasing something that just isn't there. You're trying to chase some type of magic. And this isn't necessarily an Xbox issue. It's been a tech issue for the last, I would say 8 of the last 10 years. And what that tech issue was that companies were kind of going around this type of logic of like, we're too big to fail. The industry is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And when you're growing and growing and growing, you start to say bigger is better. So you just want to hire people in anticipation that there going to be some type of like role for them as this industry just continues to grow. And this was fueled more after the pandemic, during the pandemic, because people were like, oh, everybody's going to stay home forever and ever, which obviously we're not. And so what happens then? Well, what happens then is you start to see consolidation. And consolidation comes in several different forms. Not only do you see consolidation as far as studios being bought out or IP being dropped, but you start to see consolidation in the form of companies starting to cut the fat. And you'll hear that term a lot. I totally expect Xbox to not only cut the fat, but actually cut to the bone, which means they're going to get rid of some properties and some things that some people are like, why are you getting rid of that? That is that thing, no one's saying that's bad. No, the thing is, when you start cutting, they start cutting. The gaming industry has flatlined. What I mean by that is, no, it still has a pulse. But the gaming industry, again, is only growing at about 1 to 3%, depending on where in the world you're at. And when you're growing at that, and I can already hear Jeff saying this is Bad Take Thursday. But that's okay, Jeff. That's okay. When your blueprint's so good, yes, it is Rebecca. Yes, it is. But when you're growing that slow, right, what eventually happens is companies start to say, who's growing fast? And we're going to pivot everything towards that. And everything else, you need a cut so that you can start to justify the investment we're putting into you. Xbox is unfortunately caught up in this because, especially at Microsoft, where everything is about OpenAI, ChatGPT, clippy, you name it. It's not really about Xbox. The thing is, Xbox has some amazing, amazing properties. And we've talked about this. A lot of them have to do with the ABK deal. And so I expect Xbox to continue to cut, continue to raise prices. And it's kind of unfortunate because there's a lot of great talent there. There's a lot of great ideas there. There's a lot of great projects there. There's a lot of great IP there. But unfortunately, I think you're going to see some more things that look a little bit like, oh, what is the one, the rhythm game? The rhythm game that they got rid of about a year ago. I think you're going to see more of that, right? And unfortunately, we talked about South of Midnight. I could see South of Midnight being wrapped up in this. It has nothing to do with South of Midnight. Has nothing to do that, or any of the studios, or any of the talent, anything that they're doing, right? I expect next week you're gonna see the normal corporate talk, like we gotta say goodbye to great colleagues. We gotta do whatever, but we're solely focused on providing Xbox everywhere. Blah 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 blah. I feel like I just said 70 to 80% of what's going to be talked about next week from Xbox. And it's kind of frustrating because when you see a big company like Xbox do it, it gives cover for others to do it. And then as you start to create this like cynicism within the industry, you start to see talent leave. That's the straight up thing. Like game developers usually game developers take a pay cut to go work on a game. They don't make the same. And that and I think in why I'm picking on Xbox right now, it's not again really about Xbox. It's just that I feel like there's a heightened sense of this after Microsoft has spent upwards of 75 billion. If we add the ABK deal on top of the Bethesda deal, that's a lot of money. That's 75. That's like a lot. 75 billion is a lot. And that is where I could kind of see that a few years ago. Like my very first purple shade video, if you go back to that, I talk about the ABK deal and I talk about why I think it was a bad deal. But if you listen to it, you'll actually hear a lot of it has to do with the investment. It just isn't worth it. Well, now flash forward, you see the investment, but you see what type of pressure you're under to justify that investment. And it comes at the cost of talent, it comes at the cost of IP, and it comes at the cost of the industry as a whole. It is what it is. Not necessarily a bad. No, this is a bad thing. This one's a bad thing. I got some more Xbox news that's not so bad. I think it's more neutral. But this one, I just hate to see it because I think this is more layoffs. 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. It continues. It's continuing. And we have some winners in there, right? We just talked about Claire Obscure 33. You still have some gems in there that are coming out. But as an industry as a whole, you just have to feel for some of these people. Oh, woke means civilized. Did you spell that with an S? What is going on, Marcus G. Knight? Microsoft won't care what kind of IP it is or how great fans think it is. If it isn't making them money, it's getting dropped. I know. See, that's why I feel like South of Midnight. That's why I feel bad for South of Midnight. Because I feel like it was great, and you already know what's going to happen. They're going to say, oh, it did, go woke, go broke. But guess what? Some of the anti-woke people, I'm just using woke because Marcus used it. Some of the anti-woke people, your studios are also going like broke. You know what I mean? So it's not it's just an industry phenomenon. But I hate because I could see South of Midnight, being in a situation that it's a no-win situation. But that's what I'm getting. That's why the tech industry is Joe's struggling right now, which affects my direct. So game suffers for sure. Definitely. They don't make as much. Cut it. That's what it's going to be like. That's what it's going to be. Dude, games don't solve hard problems in computing anymore. They don't. We're going to talk about this as well here in a second. It just is really interesting because there was a time, to Marcus's point, there was a time where the investment in gaming made sense because you were at the cutting edge of technology. You had compute that was dealing with computation, visual, and audio combined. It was that trifecta. And you could say, oh, that is like where game that is the top of technology. If we could, and then you had to deal with latency. So if you could solve that problem, and the faster you could solve it with the more fidelity, with the better sound, you could actually say that was a computational achievement. However, as we start to move away from that, and as we start to move into AI, and that is the computational challenge, or that is the challenge at the frontier, you then start to see the investment come away from gaming. And that's not just investment from Microsoft, but that's investment from venture capitalists, that's investment from investors, that's investment from gamers. I think you've seen this sometimes in the gaming industry. People are more focused about the tech and less about the games. So what ends up happening is they start covering more about the tech, and then games become about tech demos. Like I said, I totally respect the people who are into that. I'm not sure I would call that gaming though, right? And I think sometimes the conversation gets lost in that regard as well. All right. But I told you I had a little bit more Xbox news. I have a little bit more Xbox news. I don't think this is more this is a little bit more I guess controversial. Not really though. Right. So Hellblade 2 is arriving on PS5, which we knew that. Enhanced edition with 60 FPS performance mode will also be available same day for PC and Xbox Series S and X. But actually, Tom Warren comes back and says it will not be available for the Series S. I think overall, this one to me, this is making rounds in the console war spaces. I'm not too sure what to make of this. Like, I think we know Xbox wants to put their games everywhere. So I think that is a good move. We also know that the Series S isn't as powerful as the Series X. So that doesn't really make any surprises. Yeah, I don't know what to make it. And I've said this before. I've said, like, because this ran into the issue when I was trying to port the game to Nintendo, right? If you're going to put old IP on a system, right, for the first time, you have to offer something that you originally did not offer. You can't just put like old IP on the new system and it's basically the exact same base game that you offered a year, 2, 3 years before. In this regard, it makes total sense that you're going to be offering a 4K 60 version of Hellblade, right? It just does because it'll get people excited. It gets people talking about the game. And I would not be surprised if Microsoft held back on the 4K 60 for the Series X with this commercialization in mind. Maybe, and some people would say, yeah, Purple, we've been saying that. Like the Series S holds back the X. I'm not saying even that. Like I think the Series S could probably run it. What I also think though is like, but why would they do that? Right? If you're not going to sell more of these games on the Series S, right? Usually you get this game through Game Pass. So like you're not it's not really for anything there. And I think for the Series X it makes more sense just because I mean you kind of pay $250 more for the Series X. So again, I don't think I make anything of this. We've known Microsoft wants to put their games everywhere. We know that when you transport the game to somewhere else, you got to add something else to the game. Like whether it's a performance mode, whether it's an art book, you got to add something. And so this follows that trend. I still don't like Hellblade 2. I'll be very honest. I don't like the game. But yeah, that's just me. But we'll see. Hey, knit the game. Ooh, afternoon. Yes, game quality is not what it used to be. Oh, I know. This is just. Oh, hey, Jesse. I changed my YouTube name, but added my real face. Oh, thanks, Jesse. Jesse, y'all, is all the way back from the Stadia days. So welcome, welcome, Jesse. Jesse, what are you playing? You're a first-person shooter type. They need to stop selling two consoles. Make one console, not two different consoles with different prices and different specs. Johnny, yeah, I mean, I think so. Here's my thing, Johnny, and I've talked about this before. I don't think they're gonna offer anymore. I think the rest of their consoles are gonna be like Asus, Lenovo, throw Dell in there, Logitech. I think they're gonna be making Xbox consoles from now on. And Microsoft's gonna step back. Microsoft is gonna focus on moneymakers. Console's not a moneymaker. That's my number one thing. Simpleton said it best. If you're not making money, they're going to cut it. And especially them. People love to make the comparison to PlayStation or to Nintendo. You really can't compare them. Those are Japanese companies, American company. On top of that, this is a tech company. And a tech company was on this huge like growth spree. Like the majority of tech companies grew, I think it's like 100% between 2018 and 2022. It's some crazy number like that. They all just grew. And Xbox grew as well. But now they're like, nah, we got to cut it. And so I think the hardware is in trouble. Not the licensing. I still think you're going to get the because that's free money. That's free money. But I think everything else, like, you're going to be hard pressed to see something like for them to justify spending something. And it doesn't even just have to make money. It has to make money at like a 25 to 30% profit margin. That's the crazy thing. And so like your winners, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, Diablo, like those make money. Maybe StarCraft, but even StarCraft, I'm like, or not StarCraft, Skyrim, right? Because they're coming out with the new Skyrim. Even that, I'm like, is this chasing nostalgia? And what I mean by that is StarCraft or Skyrim. Skyrim's mostly like a PC game, right? It's not really a console game. So your traditional market of console, you're making a game that I don't think it translates over. We don't really see IP make that leap. Some does. I don't want to say it doesn't. But normally we don't see that. And if you're selling it on PC, you now run into the problem of like, which isn't a problem, but you're now selling it on Steam. And that's like free money for Steam. Like, I don't know. When it comes to Xbox, I always say like, they kind of have a good problem to have, but they also have a problem that's like very difficult, which is you're the richest company, one of the three, one of the four. All right, I hear you, Saudi Wealth Fund. You're one of the 3 or 4 richest companies in the world. Therefore, you have richest companies of the world problems. This isn't mom and shop problems, right? This isn't us trying to keep the lights on problems. These are us like, we want all the money in the world problems. And when you have that type of problem, you need to try to get all the money in the world. And that means you double down on the things that got you there and you raise the price on those things. Just how it plays. Hey, Cherry Man. Xbox is going to be the Android of gaming. Android is on every phone device except Apple. I think they would like to be. Johnny, I think that's a good point, Johnny. But here's the thing. I think we already have that. Android is the Android of, like, that's the thing where people were saying, like, Game Pass is going to be the Netflix of gaming, right? Remember that? We remember when we had that, like, Game Pass was coming out. And thanks you for the commentary. Shout out to Cherry Man as he enters the house. And I see it. I see you, Jesse. I'm coming to your comment. And I see you, Simpleton, as well. Um, you can't be the Netflix of game when Netflix is already there, right? Netflix already has a gaming division, right? Like, I want you to be something else. I don't want you, and I think you're right. I think that's what they're trying to be. The problem is there already is someone there. There's already Steam. You know what I mean? Steam already has the player base, like already has the customer base. Like, what is harder to do? This is a good question. Oh, I'm hurting my back. What is harder to do? To have the customer base and then go to other locations, or to not quite have the other customer base and try to also go to other locations? As always, right? You need the customer base. And so that's why I think like they are in a very tough pickle, in my opinion. And again, this isn't a tough pickle for like a mom and pop shop. If this is From Software is happy. But this isn't. This is Microsoft. That's why I said it has nothing to do with Xbox. This is Microsoft. Microsoft, they are in the business of giving away with a monopoly without calling it a monopoly. That is their business. How far can we push it? And I think that's why I say I think they're going to continue to cut. They're going to continue to cut and continue to pinch where they can. Like, they are going to figure that out as a science. They're going to go to, what do we call that in economics? The profit frontier. Oh, it's like the maximum point of where you've retained customers and you've risen price. I forget what we call that. But that's where they're going. They're going where no other game company has gone before. However, they got to go up again. Like, there's only so many players. So you're not going to take iOS's game. You're not going to do that. You're not going to take the Android Play Store. So mobile's out the question. You're not going to take the PC game store because that's Steam. So that's out of the question. You're not going to outdo, like, you already have the subscription service and it's not growing. So then you're like, okay, the only other place you can go is just where you left, which is like Nintendo and PlayStation. I don't know where they go. All right, let's see what Jesse has to say. From what I saw, IGN Live, although a portable-only Nintendo Switch is headed in the right direction for giving us the gamer's experience. Oh, Jesse, it's not just portable. That is a great console. That's all I do is play it in console mode. It's not down here right now, but I play it in console. Great comment. The return on investment, the ROI. Look at Simpleton using not simple words. Make better sense for Microsoft or it's getting dumb. They won't care about nostalgia or anything feelings related. They have investors to think about. They have the investors' feelings to think about. Good job, Simpleton. I love when they say, we don't care about feelings. And then it's like, except if you're an investor. And it's not even an investor. It's like if you're a rich investor. Not all investors are created equal. Android is in my damn car. It sucks I'm replacing it, but it's in my car. What are you replacing it with? Say Apple. Say Apple. It's like I'm replacing it from one monopoly to the other. Is the Netflix thing? And yes, I agree. They will allow other companies to build Xbox. Yep. That's what they're gonna do. And that's why I say, like, is Lenovo, like, if I think about who owns the personal PC market, let me give you an example. If I say, hey, this person is thinking about getting a laptop, what comes to mind? It's like Mac or something else, right? You may even get like Mac, Chromebook, or something else, or Windows. Okay, cool. So we already know, like in the Western world, Apple has like name recognition already has a customer base. So now let's talk about like Chromebook or Windows. We don't talk about like, oh, Asus over HP over Lenovo. Like at that point, we're now starting to talk about like, okay, like, which one does what I need it to do? Like you start, there's so many different variations that you're kind of like, all right, do I really need to do everything? This is just an extra computer so I can like throw it around and do XYZ. That's a game. Like that's how we talk about it. You know what I mean? Like some people may be like they're an HP person or they're a Dell person. But I think like if gaming consoles are going to go that way, or at least for Microsoft, I don't know. Again, this has nothing to do with their games, by the way. I don't know how much of a winning strategy that is. I like again, that's Sarah Bond. That's her job. That's her job. It's not Phil. Phil's gone. That's Sarah Bond's job. All right. I also think part of the problem is they got too big, and when they happens, they get more focused on the jar than the. Yeah. There's many a song that sounds like that. It reminds me of that Aloe. I forgot. I need $1. I forget the name of the song. I'm replacing with the software that works best. My phone, Apple. That's my ecosystem. Look at Simpleton. Look at Simpleton going the Apple way. From one monopoly to the duopoly to the other. Hey, Marcus, you know too much about this. Amazon Luna. That's another one. That's another one. Luna. That's why I feel like, oh man, I don't. They had a good. It's when they go too much. You're going too far. Like, and I don't know if that can ever be balanced. Gaming is supposed. What do you say, Simpleton? Gaming is supposed to be fun. You always say that, right? Or something to that effect. It rhymes with that. And but when you mix fun with making money, one of those is going to win and one of those is going to lose. It's very hard to balance that, right? And when you can't balance it, you have to at least give the perception that you care about one, right? And so that's why a lot of people are always like, Disney. Oh, Disney used to be a good company. No, Chica. Disney was never a good company. Okay? I'm sorry to break it to you. Like some people are like, oh, but Mickey was all fun. No. All right. Nintendo. The only thing I would tell you to say about Nintendo, and this is why I can't like, because I like Nintendo too. So, but companies in other countries have other ethos, right? It's more about a sustainable business than like a let's rule the world business. And when it comes to Nintendo, like their whole thing is sustainability. Like they want to ensure that, like that's the oldest gaming company out there, right? They've been out there since like what, 1890 something, 1870, 18 something to today. So yes, people are like, well, they're greedy. Yeah. But they're trying to survive against behemoths. Microsoft, they're greedy too, but it's just a different degree. American companies, it's just at another level. And if y'all who've worked in another country, you know exactly what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. Like this is why in most other parts of the world, I'd love to hear some of my Canadian friends on this. Other parts of the world, like it's mandatory you take your holidays. Are you kidding me? The US, they're like, you're taking a holiday, right? But you're still working, right? You know, like you're still available. And it's like, F you. Like that's how it is. But if I try to get like my team who works out of like France, if I try to get, I know it's French, don't I? Know, I get it. But if I try to get that team to like work, like pass whatever 5-6 week little thing that they're like, that's against the law. You know? Like, and so the United States like has this weird work culture that's driven a lot by like, I don't want to make this anti-capitalism. It's not that. It's just this weird work culture. Marcus is going to be like, no, we're making it about capitalism, purple. Oh my goodness. All right. Whoa, say it ain't so. The company that gives us the happiest place on earth is evil? Disney owns all my favorite franchises except HTTYD. What's HTTYD? That's not HGTV, Rebolica. Nintendo is dumb. Disney was a great company. No, Disney was not ever. Okay? Video games are fun. That's what it is. I looked up the number for Amazon. Same numbers as Stadia, but since connected to Twitch now, it's just service, so numbers use not a big deal. Yeah, Amazon is a difference. The storefront. Luna's interesting. Nintendo's second place company, just like Ghostbusters. Vet, I'm not going there with you. Vet, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, Vet. We are not doing that today. I work for American companies at Canadian locations. Ooh. That's probably best of both worlds, no? Because you get like the same perks as an American company, but you get the protection of a Canadian company. I like it. I like your style. I like your style. And Amazon is still running like a boss. I don't know if it runs that well, but okay. My time in the USA, I saw a big difference in business mentality in Japan and Malaysia. Hey! Thank you for your service, Jesse. My first is oh my goodness, y'all are ridiculous. We had to fight the company to get vacations we earned. Oh, there we go. There we go. You know exactly what how to train your dragon. I did not know that. I did not know that. Say it with me, perp. What am I saying? No, stop it. Stop. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But that's it. That's it. Like, I'm like saying, it's not an Xbox issue. That's why people keep telling me you're anti-X. I'm like, yo. Xbox would do so much, but it's weird because they wouldn't be where they were at without Microsoft. I get that. I get it. But I feel like there's going to be casualties next week with that layoff news. And I hate to see that because it does not have to do about profitability. It does not have to do about sustainability. It has nothing to do except next week is the last week in the quarter for Microsoft. And they want to make sure they put some really good numbers or a really good story around their fiscal year earnings report. And that's what it has to do with. What I just said sounds nothing about gaming. Has nothing to do with fun. Has nothing to do with enjoyment. Has everything to do with what people hate about corporations. That's why. And now you now see the through line. I cannot articulate it better than what's going to happen next week at Xbox. Purple gets it too. What's that? Purple is anti-Xbox, anti-Microsoft, anti-Disney, anti-capitalism. Let's make it clear. I'm not anti-Disney. I like Winnie the Pooh. And that's all they have for him. Like, I like the Pooh. All right. That probably did not sound right. But I like Winnie the Pooh. The one company I work for had its own worker at the workplace labor board across the street. They just paid the fines and yes. Now they're making it harder to even figure out if companies are doing the right thing. Like, you find a correlation there? I do. Like, yeah, I don't know. Vet loves corporate. Vet, please. Go say it. Sit in the Midwest, Vet. Sit in the Midwest. All right, we got some Nintendo news. Let me go to Nintendo. Where's my Nintendo? Look at this. Nintendo Switch 2 may be held back by software limitations like I keep seeing FCAT when I read that. XFAT support and strict certification process, developer says. So what this basically means is that Switch 2 utilizes an older type of verification process or software, and that software does not allow for certain file sizes. It really forces companies to kind of make sometimes sacrifices. If you ask me, a lot of times it just means it makes them have to optimize the system. I know. Who would have thought? And this developer is saying like, hey, that's going to cost it XYZ down the line. I think companies, the problem with companies and the reason why Nintendo, for the most part, and I get it, Rebolica will say they didn't do it with The Sims. And I know a lot of Pokemon players would say they did not do it with Pokemon Scarlet. But for the most part, when a game launches on Switch, now the one that where it can be powered. So I understand there was the Mortal Kombat issue um a few years ago. But especially now with this current system, 99% of games should be able to be played on it without any types of glitches. And so with Nintendo, yes, there might be some issues with like, hey, it has to be optimized to this degree. But again, I think that's a checks and balances to force people to bring a quality product to Nintendo. Now that's the best Nintendo spin I can give it to y'all. But again, I don't know if this is really a news story considering we just saw Cyberpunk run better on that system than it runs equal. Let me just say that. It runs equal on a portable system. That's the best I can say on that. So I'm not sure if that's as much of a news story as that. See, Perp she thinks Ghostbusters is top 5 movie. Ghostbusters is in my top 5. Ghostbusters is in my top 3. Okay? Like, we're not doing this, Fat. We're not doing this. We're not doing Back to the Future number 1. Stupid movie. Markets for products exist because they fulfilled a consumer need. Now products exist for consumers because they fulfill a corporation's market's need. But the corporation makes you think that you need it. Isn't that a good trade-off? Nintendo games are usually not as buggy. That is true. That is true. But they do have issues. They do have issues. I'm not going to say they don't. But I think their verification process makes it so that. And I think companies, what you're not reading in that statement, because again, if they got Ori to run on the Switch, it's crazy in my opinion. But what you're not reading in that statement that I read very clearly is now I have to pay extra to make sure my game is optimized for the Switch, as where with the other systems, I don't. That's how I read that. Other people may read it as like, oh, Nintendo has a shortcoming. I read it as, and if you read the entire article, go ahead, go look at it. I'll put it back up here. If you actually read this entire article, what he actually says is, yeah, that's potentially why they have less buggies because their certification is so much more stringent. So in my opinion, between the two, I'm going to be like, yeah, I want the system where it's not buggy, right? So it makes me think what the other people are doing. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's just me. I'm weird. Purple Haze needs to bring Vet on to debate about the greatest movie of all time. No, Vet, you proved it wrong. X Fat, is that like when you go to your high school reunion and wish X Fat? And wish X Fat? What? X Fat? you wish your X Fat? I see what you did there. It could be. It could be. I've never been to a high school reunion, by the way. I don't believe in reunions. You know what I mean? I don't believe in like class reunions. I feel like if I cared to stay in touch with you since whenever, middle school, high school, college, grad school, whatever, if I wanted to stay in touch with you, I would have stayed in touch with you. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to utilize this time to be fake and be like, oh my goodness, let me catch up on 30 years of your life. No. I'm too big. If you're not there with me now, I'm not there with you for then. Okay? Maybe it's just me. But I feel like class reunions, they're just not for me. Let me just say, I was about to say something very bad, but they're not for me. It has higher standard. Rebolica, I'm with you. I'm with you. That doesn't invite. Vet, you had to graduate to get invited. Maybe that's it. Vet, are you the type who likes to go to the class reunion because you made you were on the bench of the JV football team and then you got expelled and then you're trying to go back to that class reunion? It doesn't work like that, Vet. Like usually you would have had to went to school, you had to graduate, you had to be something, but yeah, not a good vet. Come on. That makes sense. Well, the TF is a movie? TF? Which one's TF? Because I read TF as the F is a movie? Transformers? I went to none of high school reunions either. What was the point? Exactly. Jesse, exactly? I'm glad we're saying. Dead medium. What is that? Dead medium? Which one? What are we talking about? Marcus, tell me what we're talking about. All right, y'all. We're getting to the most exciting part of the day. Well, if you did not see it, to get this started, let's get this started. We gotta get this started. I got a video. I gotta show y'all. Let's get this started. I want to get this there. We're gonna start with this video, and then we're gonna show a couple of more. So, y'all, that was Little Nightmares 3. We got a launch date. It is October 10th of this year. If y'all recall, Little Nightmares 3 is my number 4 most looked forward to video game of any of the top 5 I'm super psyched about. But this is number 4 for me. I am really pumped about it. They did an amazing showcase for this. So, not only did they do a showcase for this, they went out. They went all out. Now, I was a little negative, is maybe an understatement, on Little Nightmares 3 compared to Reanimal, because I thought what Bandai Namco would do was kind of make it more lightened-hearted, more like open to other forms of media. Now, with that said, if you watched the thing, and I really, really hope y'all go watch it if you're a Little Nightmares fan, but if you go and watch it, what you're actually going to see is they teased a few things. So another thing that they teased about this, let me show you. That is the Sounds of Nightmares. So the Sounds of Nightmares, if you remember, Little Nightmares came out with a podcast. And it's actually a pretty good podcast. Like if you're into podcasts and you're into like that visualization and everything, they're introducing season 2, which is coming out later this year. So yes, I love this. So if you know anything about me, this is why I love Darksiders. This is why I love Little Nightmares. Why I love Bindi. I love when video games start to transcend just outside of the video. Like I can get really lost into the universe. And to me, that builds brand loyalty. To me, that brings new gamers into the genre. To me, that brings me to like, what are they really trying to say? Like, what is the art? So they are bringing in the second season to Little Nightmares, the podcast. I could be not more excited. So I now have what? I have Little Nightmares coming out and the podcast coming out. But wait, there's more. What do you mean there's more, Purple? Let's see what we have here. Yes, this one I've been super excited about So let me show you this next trailer. It's a short one, so bear with me, but I'm really, really excited about it.
I don't remember how I got here. 20 years as a cog, thinking I could make a difference. I gave myself over freely. That's why I'm here. Sick of feeling like a puppet.
I'm asking you to give it one more go. Work with me. The milk carton cases.
The vanished children, they haunt every mind in the counties. A little girl. There's always a little girl. For the second time in as many days, I'm on a precipice. But this time, I have to jump.
So that's Little Nightmares. So now what are we talking about? We're talking about a game. We're talking about a podcast, and we're talking about a comic. So if you know anything, I did get the Little Nightmares comic for the one that came out in between the first and the second game. So I'm like really excited because they're like taking this in a totally different direction, as where this comic really follows like the world, the world, the nightmare world, or the nowhere, if you say. What I like about the other stuff that they're doing with the IP, and I'm really excited, like hyped about this, because I wish more games would do this. They're really expanding that universe. So if you listen to the podcast actually like takes place like kind of before in like the 1960s, 1970s era, even maybe 1950s era in like England and France, like in Europe. I know those are two different places, but yeah, it's like in Europe. It's like this very kind of Victorian-esque type of podcast. Very interesting, right? Then you have the actual world of Little Nightmares, which is like the nowhere. It's a nightmare. They're still trying to tease out what it actually is, but we know kids can go there. We learn more about that in the actual thing. This comic really explores that a little bit more. It gives a different protagonist as they're walking through the nowhere. However, that comic is more done in the present day. The protagonist of that comic is actually a detective in the present day. So now we're getting super meta, and I don't mean Mark Zuckerberg's company. We're getting like very much into like the video game that you can play. We're getting a little bit into like the book, the audio, just giving a lot of things to fans of that universe. Now, on top of that, right, we have the video game, we have the comic, we have another podcast. So we're doing everything. You might as well get into the game, right? And guess what they did? Boom! Little Nightmares in VR Altered Echoes. They're saying that is coming on the way. So for Ninja Guy VR, if you're out there, I really am looking forward to you actually previewing this, giving us your thoughts on it. I'm pretty sure you might already has. So now you're seeing everything. I can be in the game. I can play the game. I can read about it. I can hear about it. You're like, Purple, what else can they do? I'm here to tell you they're about to do, they gave us a little bit more. So with that said, here's the next one. It's really short, but yes, this was all packed in like 25 minutes. I can't tell you, I've watched the showcase like 3 or 4 times, but here's the next thing that they gave us. So this is super cool. It's like a stop motion feature. So we don't know if this is a movie. We don't know if this is a TV show. If you ask me, I believe this is going to probably be something like a vignette, like we saw uh, when Amazon did that thing with all the like different video games. Like each of them was like 7 to 10 minutes long. I could see this one fitting in that. But again, just like expanding the universe, expanding what Big Isaac Kid has. I know it's that claymation stuff, but I thought it's super cool. So really is the um expanding the universe, expanding the franchise out. And I think that's kind of what you need. And this should go without saying. If for my fellow 50, 40 year olds out there, like this is what entertainment used to be like, right? If we think about Lord of the Rings, if we think about Star Trek, if we think about just so many of those like sci-fi things back in the past that or fantasy, we saw that it started to extend across mediums. And to me, video games, in order to break out of the live service like black hole that exists, in order to break out of that, you're going to need to develop properties and IP that just has that teases so many different senses, that lets you play with not just the game, but also with your imagination, not just with your imagination, but also just how is the artist visualizing it, just giving you more to place and to get involved with that. I am all for that because again, I think gaming is in, and I've said this before, I said it earlier, is in flatline. And it's being done by its own doing. Chasing bigger companies, chasing all the latest trends, trying to have a live service thing. Well, now you're starting to reap what you sowed. You try to get too big, and now what's happening? We're losing IP, we're losing amazing developers. You tried to create this live service, always on, always something that monetizes us, and now look, you can't get people to play new games. I'm not saying everything about Little Nightmares is all, not for profit or not for that. What I am saying though is it's something different. It's something that we've seen before. It's something that maybe if you're not into this game, you can maybe get into another part of it, right? It's able to connect people to talk about theories about what's going on. It's able to like understand different forms of art that they might like. That is what gaming needs. That's one of the things gaming needs. One of the things to bring, I see your comment there about like a Tim Burton. I don't know, maybe. But that's what it's about to me. It's about the art. It's about that thing to make me kind of like think about something else. And as someone who loves storytelling, like loves it, the art form of storytelling, I cannot for one of my favorite franchises in video games. I am so excited to see them go down this route. I am like tickled because it gives me things to get it like to look forward to, things for me to like connect with people on, for things for me to talk about. And I know everybody in this channel or in this chat or in this community has different things, different franchises that they really, really like. And some people are purely gamers. They're like, all I like to do is I just want to play the game. I totally hear you. But in order for gaming to continue to expand and to continue to innovate and continue to entertain, it has to add some other elements to it. And maybe it's not, I'm not saying for everything to go get a podcast and go get a movie and go get a comic. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that they have to continue to expand and bring in different ways to tell that story. And I'm super excited about it. Did he make Caroline movie? He might. Did he? I have the Coraline movie up there. I may go look at it. So yeah. So that is Little Nightmares. Let me just put this last one up. I think I got everything right. I talked about the movie. I talked about the comic, and I talked about the game. There's the stuff, and here's kind of they have different editions of this thing out there. So this is the Spiral edition. This is probably the one I'm going to get for the Switch. Let me talk a little bit about the game. I showed some gameplay of it. Little Nightmares will be able to be played both co-op as well as single player. So that's kind of cool. So you can share that with someone else, or you can do it alone. It's meant for both, and so that's that. It's obviously you can go read about Little Nightmares, but it's about these little kids in this little universe called the Nowhere, and they run into nightmares. Now, I do think the storytelling is going to be a little bit different than the other two. They're obviously introducing new characters, but I don't know. I don't know. I think y'all can tell I'm pretty excited about this. Uh, as far as a franchise, probably the most I'm interested. Hey, Kenny, I saw you earlier. I think that's what Nintendo has figured out when it comes to their IP, movies and games. I think you're right. Movies, games, and theme parks, right? Movies, games, and theme parks. If they ever create a casino, I'm there. I was listening to a podcast about the future game a month away. Multiplayer streaming and esports ruined a lot of gaming because so much just co-op multiplayer experience. Story quality lost. Exactly, Jesse. Story quality is lost. It needs to come back. I'm happy for this. Now let me see Jeff come in. I saw Jeff in here. I am announcing a mutual ceasefire between the PC gaming and console. Oh my goodness, Jeff. As part of the agreement, PC gamers will no longer comment on the expense of their GPU in relation to our cars. Oh, wow. Jeff is announcing this. Is this a unilateral? Like, do PC gaming and console gaming know of this ceasefire? Because we have had issues in the past about ceasefires where the parties didn't know. And also, are you saying definitively that you have gotten rid of the threat without knowing you gotten rid of the threat? If you think I'm talking about gaming, you're right. If you think I'm talking about something else, you're also right. With that said, Sam has a movie in development. Ooh, Rabaka, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And Rabaka, Sims might be coming to Switch too. I know you're I just read that last week, but I heard EA CEO saying that they want to put more on Switch too. Yeah, so there's that. Let me see if that was my last thing, because I wanted to go off on a bang there. And that should have been my last thing. So if that is in chat, or whoever's in chat, if you want to jump in on this, I am going to post the link. I'm post the link. I know. Eventually, I wanted to get to that because I was excited. I was holding back the whole time. That is why, if you take nothing away from this stream, Little Nightmares, October 10th. You can start ordering the comic in August, as I found out from my comic book store. Yes, I went to a comic book store. And I honestly think I went there the last time back in December, and I went there again yesterday or 2 days ago. No, it was yesterday. I honestly think I was the only woman to go in there between those last 6 months. And I say that because the cashier told me that. I don't say, like, comic book industry, comic book people, y'all always complain about how comic books are dying. I'm just going to say, maybe you should expand your customer base. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying you have to make new Marvel stuff, but maybe the indie comics, maybe the other stuff. And they're going to make a little order for me for Little Nightmares. I'm so proud of it. And the Diablo comics. I told them to get Diablo comics because all they have is like superhero stuff. I'm like, why? Who? So yeah, breaking news, PC gamers have broken the ceasefire. Oh my goodness. Oh, shots have been fired. Oh, shots have been. I hope it's written on that side of the barn or they'll miss it. Oh my goodness. Okay, enough testing. Just 3 years and 6 months remaining. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all are going for it. Who is this? Who jumped it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You
Vet,
already
let's go.
you already knew I was gonna jump in. I
Vet,
saw I saw a link. I'd hopped on immediately. I don't even know what.
Vet, you just we lost Jeff, by the way. You know we lost Jeff. That's right.
Oh,
You know this, right?
darn it. Well, ceasefires are meant to be broken. What can I say?
No, they're literally not. What are you talking about? They're literally not meant to be broken. This is not records are meant to be. That I get everything
Oh,
is a sport
records.
for you, but some things are not meant like that. Like I'm
Maybe
just
maybe this is why I had problem with authority in when I was enlisted.
yeah. It's not like this is all a game and let's give it to the other side. No, that is not.
Well, I thought, but didn't we win? I thought we won. We yeah. We'll not shift this to a military stream. We'll stick with gaming where we all know that
This one
Microsoft
could
wins.
switch really fast. We have enough Tinder. We have enough people in chat who could probably make this a very political stream.
Well, I seem to have started. I was trying to shift away from that with that woke means civilized because
Who,
I feel
Marcus? That's Marcus G. Knight.
I don't know who anybody is. I just see woke means civilized, and I don't understand if he's awake or if he's asleep. I am not sure. Plus, I don't know who that is. I've been out of the gaming thing.
Oh, Internet of Games. Internet of Games.
Okay. I know who that is. I know who
Internet
that
of
is.
Games.
Yeah. Now I remember. I don't know. I've been out of streaming for a while. I haven't streamed in over a month. I moved to Iowa. I got acknowledged by Tom Warren and Jess Corden and The Verge, so I'm kind of a big deal now. Even bigger than I already was. So, the ego has gone up even more so than normal.
And just like all big time celebrities, they move to the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, a la Kanye. So let's go, Kanye. What's new?
Well, I'm voting for him in 2028. Actually, I'm kidding. I'm going to vote for Trump again. We all know that's going to happen.
No, okay, Ben. Let's stick to gaming, Ben. Stick to gaming.
No, not much. I just been watching the rounds with the Xbox versus PlayStation console wars. Again, I thought that was over with. When Microsoft conceded that they were leaving the console business, but I guess not, because I've seen half a dozen different channels keep talking about how Microsoft is going bankrupt. They're losing. I can't keep up with it all.
Look, I told you I don't really compare these two. I think Microsoft has bigger ambitions, and that is going to be their Achilles heel. Is that I don't know how they.
I don't think gaming is their Achilles heel. I think the console was. I think that was overall in the grand scheme of things. I think it was because they left it. It's like the same as Sega. Sega did great for so long, and then when they left, that's the mark you get. But Microsoft as a company will be fine. Look how much money they're raking in, let alone just from Sony fans, from all the PlayStation gamers buying up all the Microsoft games.
Yeah. Well, let me correct. If anybody misconstrues me saying a $3.5 billion company is not going to be okay, like I get it. We in this world today we like to over embellish threats, but there's no threat to a $3.5 trillion company. Like let me just if that was ever
Simpleton's gonna egg me on this.
Let me be broken. Records, ceasefires, rock bands, marriages. Ooh, jeez. Ooh, jeez.
No, I saw the other one with the PC Master Race comment further down. No, I don't think it's even that. I think Microsoft is doing what they always do, and it's they're moving away from the hardware and they're shifting back to software. That's where they shined for years. I mean, granted, most of it was a monopoly for a long time. With
and when you mean years, you mean between the years of 1994 to 1998.
Yes, until they decided to get into the hardware business with,
after Windows 98.
Well, I think really until Satya Nadella destroyed my hopes and dreams of Microsoft sticking with the Windows phones. But that's a different story.
Oh yeah, that did happen too.
Rat bastard. God, I hate him. But no, I think they will like. It's this narrative that everybody, and I've been on X a lot today, listening to the banter between PlayStation fans, Xbox fans, PC fans, and I like. If you're a gamer, that's great. But when you're sitting there and you are a PlayStation fan and you want to say, well, the Xbox, your handheld isn't even going to be able to play, doesn't play Xbox games. Microsoft never said it did. Their marketing team did. Their marketing team may have made it seem like it will play native games with the new handhelds. But if you listen to it, and I had to watch it several times, the only way it plays native Xbox console games is via remote play or cloud, the same way the Portal does. The PlayStation Portal is the same thing. It plays PlayStation 5 games via remote play or cloud. The only thing that is, it's the new Xbox branded handhelds are just PCs. They're handheld PCs. They're just upgrades from what's already out there on the market by Asus. Look at the Xbox.
So what I hear you saying that.
Okay.
So here's a question for you.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be really cool if we had a handheld device that I could play in both anywhere, and I could play the games that I bought in the storefront anywhere? Like,
yes.
And that would be cool, right?
So you're talking about like if I open up the Xbox app on my handheld right now, and I can look at all my installed games, and I now see that I have games installed that's showing in the Xbox PC app, mind you, Game Pass game installed. I have 2 Steam games installed. It's now showing my BattleNet game that I have installed on it. It's also showing my Epic Games Store and my Ubisoft titles, all from within the Xbox PC app. I don't have to open up the other launchers anymore.
Well, I was actually getting to Nintendo, but yes, let's go on with Xbox.
Oh, well, you mean like the Switch 2 that is, I mean, it's cool and all, but it's a bit pricey for my liking.
He's determined to make this console wars, but let's go.
Look, I just like being a part of things. And if, I can stoke the fires that be, it's not like this isn't the first time I've done this. I'm pretty sure there's alleged claims that I may have done the same with, during the Stadia days, supposedly, allegedly. I don't know.
You go everywhere.
Yeah. The GFN, I've gotten banned, from things, this and that. But no, I don't want to. I don't think Microsoft isn't going to get out of gaming. Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo does, and I mean, it's hit or miss. I don't care for. I think I like the cartridge thing. I think that share play or whatever it's called is a cool concept because nobody else does that. Do I like that they're banning people? No, I think that's not really good, but it's Nintendo. They don't care. They may care, but they also don't because, let's be real, Nintendo has its fan base and they could deliver the most underpowered device ever invented and it will still run their games and people will still buy it. It does not matter because it's Nintendo can do no wrong.
Well, I think so. Here's my thing about, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want to make this point because there are people. This is a gaming channel. You brought it up. I think Apple figured this out as well, right? That Apple was not the most powerful phone, even when Apple came out. Like BlackBerry could technically do everything Apple.
Oh, I loved my BlackBerry. Yeah.
Right. And Apple figured out no. Like, people want to just be able to enjoy it. It always works, and that's how it goes forward. Now, some people want to push it the furthest.
Yep.
Right? But people at the end of the day just want something that works and is simple. And I think Nintendo understands that. I think Nintendo understands, like Little Nightmares, right? Little Nightmares has an art style. Nintendo has an art style. That art style, fortunately or unfortunately, doesn't require us to have. What's the game that has the best graphics right now?
I mean, if you want,
let's use
I was going to say Cyberpunk needs
both of those. Both of those are so. Both of them are pretty far up there.
Yeah.
So they don't have that. Their games don't require that art style, right? And what we're seeing now is Cyberpunk actually runs well on the Switch. I'm pretty sure Hellblade 1 ran well on Switch 1, so I'm sure Hellblade 2 is going to be able to do help.
Yeah, Nintendo has a way of making games work well enough that for the average gamer, it would be fine. It's not meant for the hardcore PS5 Pro gamer that needs
But I don't even
or
think
the PC gamer that needs the latest and greatest. And that's where Nintendo shines. They're catering to, it's like Stadia. They're like what Stadia was. Stadia catered to, I just want to be able to game. No issues, no problems.
Stop lying, Vet. Stadia didn't cater to anybody. No gamers played Stadia.
Okay, that's right. I forgot. Oh God.
Where's Ron Slusher?
Stadia was like Concord. I forgot about that.
Kind of. But no. So yeah, no. But I think so. Here's the thing, though, right? I cannot. How many times have I went to this? If I go to the Steam charts right now, I'm going to see the top 10 games. Like half of them are free to play games. Half of them are games that people. It's like, yes, let me get a 5090 so I can play Repo. Like that. Did we lose Vat? I think we lost Vat. I like how I can move between my iPhone and my iPad seamlessly. Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what they figured out. They figured out people like simplicity.
Yep,
And
that ease of being able to.
That's what it is.
Apple, and especially as Apple grew, that was really how easy it was. The one thing I will say is watered down most of the games with Apple Arcade were. But the ability to play some of those games on the iPhone, switch to the iPad, switch to the Apple TV was genius. It reminded me of what Stadia had done with just going from device to device to device. And Nintendo's no different. Nintendo, I can load it up on the Switch, I can put it in the dock, and I'm on the TV.
No, Nintendo works. I recently just bought a second dock. So I have my studio down here. It's where I stream from. And then I have my office that's like connected to my bedroom, and I have the dock up there. And I was just about to say that Switch 2 feels the most like Stadia that I've ever had.
Nice.
And what that means for me is that it's convenient for me to play. I can now play more. Right. Sometimes I couldn't, and it's small things, like just small little things, like just being able to go play in tabletop mode. I love it. But yeah, to some people, it's like it's underpowered. Do I think it's going to be able to play Black Myth Wukong? I don't know. Like I don't know what goes on in the back end of that.
I mean, I was surprised that some of the games that the Switch 1 played, I was surprised with knowing the hardware that was inside it. I was surprised it managed to play those and play them well enough that, if I was going from PS5 to a Switch, I would notice it. But if I never had these high-end gaming consoles, I wouldn't care.
Yeah. No, I just got a new computer to play Dune Awakening. Yes, Robolica, nice. A lot of people are playing that. Someone else was playing that. I play all my Xbox games on my ROG Ally downstairs and my iPad Pro upstairs. Was that through Game Pass? How's he doing that?
Probably Game Pass, yeah.
Or GFN. Could he do it through GFN?
Yeah, either, technically. But that's the thing is, like with the Asus ROG, he could, if you have a docking station, he could just have that hooked up to a TV upstairs and then just dock it in. And it's like having a Switch, just, a PC version. And it hooks right up to the TV. You have an Xbox controller.
But it's a PC.
Yeah.
It still has PC problems.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only downside. And to be honest, that will be the downside with the new handhelds that come out. That will still be the downside to those as well, because it's still Windows 11. Even with the full screen experience that Microsoft is working on, where it boots into like a SteamOS big screen mode or whatever, it's still Windows 11. It's still going to have the same Windows update issues that we all love on Tuesdays, on Patch Tuesday. You're not going to get the blue screen of death anymore. Well, don't feel bad. You won't get the blue screen of death anymore. Microsoft finally retired it after 40 years.
What are you now? A red screen?
No, you get a black screen of death. It was easier that way. Then they didn't have to rechange, because the blue screen of death, it was BSOD. Well, they changed it to black screen of death.
Black screen.
Yep, and with white writing that says I don't know, you've got an error or something, restart your computer.
I keep
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing. I want it to work when it works. Oh, look at Remy. He's coming. Aw,
My dog is sleeping.
my little Rim Bim. He's right here.
Mine's better. Sorry, I'm just saying my dog's better.
I doubt it. All right, I play. And then say it was developed to solve a problem of rendering and latency within the perceptual window. Internet of Games always has to. I have to like break this.
Internet of Game, that's too much reading. I can't do all of that. You
Yeah,
gotta
like
dumb it down for-
perceptual window. Once
for
that was
me.
solved, Google didn't need the beta test Stadia. Ooh.
Oh my God, you went from a 570 RTX to a 4070? Holy crap. Jesus. That's like, wow, that's a hell of a jump. Oh my God. There are so many games that you'll be able to play now. Holy hell.
But I think but what I like about Robotnik is she knows what she likes. And it's
Right.
like-
I'm just like knowing the specs on it though. That's just it's like great. Like how, but that's the thing is look how long you can go with some of these older cards and they still hold up today. That's what's even crazier about that.
Crow, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Crow, you're not playing games. No, I have issues with PC. PC in general. I'm not saying games. I just have issues with PC. Like I don't, and also my library's not on PC. My library's only on PC when I add.
I gotta dip out though because the
All right, later,
my
Vet.
granddaughter's going to bed, so my big mouth will keep her up.
All right, no worries, Vet. All right, thanks
I'll
for
be
joining it.
Yeah, I'll be in chat hounding and harassing everyone as usual.
Thank you, Vet. Thank
Yep.
you. Vet Cloud Gaming, y'all, vying to be the co-host of Shades of Purple. Not that we have co-hosts, but he's making it a thing. Incredible, what's going on? How are you, Incredible? I have a laptop with a 1650. Wait, Rebecca, is the 4070 the one you got for Mother's Day? Good job, Granite. Nice. Chrissy Gnome is doing sitting for me. Oh my goodness. Marcus, dude. Marcus is going in. Oh my god. The one thing my old desktop could not do was streaming. But now your new one can. I'm happy for it. I'm happy. So no, I just don't like PC. Like if y'all really want to know, I'm like anti-PC. If y'all really, but it's not really that I'm anti, it's just I don't do it. I have issues with it. In Switch is just I find it's easier. I just find it's easier. I find that like moving around the store is easier. I feel like it's all just meant to game. Now I totally understand. Others can do more. I totally get that. I totally get that. But to me it just works. And that's that means something to me. Granny Gaming, nice. I'm so excited. I'm happy that you have your thing. Like as long as you can game, because I know you were getting frustrated with the old desktop. And so I'm super excited that you have the new desktop. Like I said, I'm happy for anybody who just finds like if you like to game on like some people love to game on the PC. I totally get it. People call me, I think I am a convenient gamer. I'm simple, right? I just like it to go and it works. And I have enough games to keep me entertained. The last issues I ever had with gaming, it has to do with the things that always are needing to update this, update that, or crashes. Luna gave me some issues, strange enough. But yeah, I'm not too upset with it. I'm just saying it doesn't work for me. I'm just saying it doesn't. Why can't it not work for me? I'm joking, but I mean, like, incredible. Like, what Simpleton was saying. To me, that's a lot. Simpleton, what tier of GFN are you paying for? Jeez, wow, Simpleton, you're paying like $30. You're paying like $40 in gaming subscriptions. No. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. But if it works for you, it works for you. I totally get it. Can the Nintendo Switch do a plug into a USB-C monitor? A USB-C monitor. Can a Nintendo USB-C? Can the Switch plug into it? I'm sure. I'm sure if I had a, because here's the thing. The Switches, let me make sure I say this correctly. I've not tried it, but I would have to think, because you can get an HDMI to USB-C adapter, right? I haven't tried it. It's a great question. I think I have a USB-C adapter. It's actually a really good question. And so, but I would imagine, but I don't want to promise you that. And before anybody's like, but it has to use Nintendo proprietary. I actually use my Logitech camera with the Switch, and it runs really well. Yes, that's another thing I don't think gets talked about as much. And I was saying this earlier when Vet was on. Why I think the Switch reminds me of Stadia so much is the layout. Like the party chat of Switch is very similar to like how you bring people in, but you also have your camera. I know some people are like, I don't use the camera, but you can use the camera, and the camera works really well, even when you're actually sharing your screen. So similar to what you can do like in Discord, and similar to what you can do on PlayStation, where you can share your screen within the game chat. You can do that as well as share your camera, which for me makes like, it's kind of huge when I want to play with a family member somewhere else, and I don't want to like have to get on like my computer. Or I guess I could do it with an iPad, but I don't have an iPad. But I'm just in the game playing. It's actually is like a level of connectiveness. That's a word, right? It's a level of connectedness that I can't get other places. So, but that's why I think like there's other things that make it very, like the way they organize their games are very similar, and a few other things. For output, I realized recently I don't own a PC. I have an iPad and an iPhone. My laptop's is ancient. I can't even upgrade it to Windows 11. I'm anti-spending money on hardware. Then cloud gaming is for you. Cloud gaming is for you. Oh, that seems annoying. Is it has to this? It has to this time? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the dock handles the conversion of the video signal. I don't know what you're talking about. The party chat is Google's. Is it? Is it? So I would imagine that's why like their back end is very googly, right? Because I did that video where I've done a couple of videos where I see that Google worked on the back end. And I don't know, I'm hearing rumors. I'm about to make a video later today, so be on the lookout of that. It's going to probably drop next week. I'm hearing rumors in the wind about something. I'm hearing rumors in the wind, and I will be dropping a video. I would have done a Shades of Purple on it, but I want to test this out as a video format, and then we can talk about it next week on Shades of Purple. No worries, Marcus. No worries. And Remy wanted to come in here, and now he got trapped in here with me. So now, and I think I know why. So yeah, but we'll see. But Ambi's saying the dock handle, I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna test some stuff out though with the Switch, because I'll have to. It does have USB-C on the dock. So I'll have to see. I'll have to see. Actually, let me see. I have the Switch. I have the dock right now. What is this? Is USB. So could we do a USB to USB-C? Marcus, you gave me a lot of things to kind of check out here in a second. So let me do that. But we are getting kind of late. I'm going to keep the line open here for like 5 more minutes. I got to kind of hit everything I wanted to hit on. I will say this: I am playing Orcs Must Die again on Saturday. So, Rouster, if you're there, let us know if we have another Orc Slayer in Zalek. If not, no pressure, Zalek. We will be killing orcs. And then on Sunday, we will again be doing the same thing we did last time, which is play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the beginning. And then we will be switching to Mario Kart World at the end. And of course, obviously, we are always fun, but we are training, y'all. We are training to ensure that we beat Xbox Espanol. I am putting my Rocky music on, and in a month, we will have another rematch with them, and we will destroy them. Orcs, I'll be there for Orcs Must Die. Nice, roster. I missed what you said. No, I was just seeing if we had Zalek as another part. Can you post the link to which one am I posting the link to Rabalica? To Zalek? To who? To the streams on Saturday, or to the information about Switch? Just let me know and I'll post it. But that's what I will be doing on Saturday. Oh, and if you mean the link, I can make the link early especially for orcs. That's an easy link. But the Switch link, I guess I could make that easy early too. Yeah, I can let me know when. You'll let me know when. You know when. I'll let you know when. Yeah, you'll let me know. I know what you meant. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. But if anybody's out there playing Death Stranding 2, I would love to know what your thoughts are. Like, I feel like that's a game that, I don't know who was talking about it earlier. Noisy was talking about it earlier. If you're playing it, let me know. Is it amazing? Why is it amazing? Like I said, Blueprints wasn't for everybody. It's for me. I could explain why I thought it was great. Little Nightmares, maybe not for everybody. I can explain why it's great. But other people, like if people just tell me like, oh, it's Kojima, I'm gonna be like, what does that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? But with that said, I think I'm gonna shut this one down at 50. I'm not gonna wait till the hour. I'm gonna shut it down at 50. My back is starting to give me some issues. So oh, did I not post this link, by the way? If I didn't post the link, that's my fault. I think I posted it. That's the link. And I think it's there it is. We did get someone in here. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! So excited! Rabalica, how are you? Oh no, we don't have her. We don't have her mic. Let me see. She's gonna get it. Oh, post the link to come in. I'm sorry, I put it way up there. We'll let her get her mic together. Oh, there you go. We hear you. Well, Rabalica, I can tell you're talking, but all I'm getting is static. Let's see. I hear something, but I don't hear you. I heard something. Your mic is on somewhere. But I can see her Rabalica. I can hear her typing. I can hear someone typing. I love it. It's like the mic's on somewhere. On your question about subs, bro, I've done the math on that. I pay about $600 annually for PS Plus. Oh my goodness. I don't want to hear you talk about Rabalica, I can hear you. I just heard you. Can she not hear me? Is that the problem? We can hear her.
Audio speakers. Oh.
We can hear her, no? I think she may have a headset that's on the computer, and she's talking in the wrong headset. Or she's listening to the wrong headset. But we can hear her. I'm I'm trying to like. It's like I know she's right there. But we'll let her finish. She's gonna get it. She's gonna get it.
Can you hear me now? I'm still having trouble hearing.
I can hear you. Yes,
Okay. I don't
can
know
hear
what's
you.
going on here.
Can you hear me? Robolica, can you hear us?
Let me just check here.
Can you hear us?
Headphones.
I don't know. Maybe it's her settings, her audio. But we can hear her.
I can't hear anything with my headphones. I'm trying a different
Oh.
pair of headphones to see if that's what the problem is. Just give me a second.
No worries. We're gonna give her a second. We'll give her a second. Should mute her maybe for privacy. I will try that. But then I won't know when she can come back in. I don't know when she'll come back in. Hey, Wit's here? Hey, Wit, what's going on? We're just with Robolica here. But I hear you, Marcus. I hear you. We heard her, though. She can't hear us, so what that means is her. But if she I would have to see.
Okay, I can hear you through my phone, so there might be a bit of a delay.
Okay, no worries, Robolica. Can you hear? But you're there, right? She'll get it.
Oh.
Oh, I think she figured something out. I love this science.
Oh, I figured out what was going on.
Oh, so you can, Robolica, you can hear us? She hasn't figured it out. There she is. Camera.
There, hello.
Hi, Robolica. Can you hear us? She can
Oh,
see us.
Sorry, I have these funny little headphones like this.
But you
I
can hear us.
you through my phone, so it's a little bit of a delay, but I can hear you.
Okay. So, well, just go, Robolica. Let's just go with it. How are you?
So, I don't know why my
It's a lot of delay. Let's see.
it's actually a lot of a delay.
Okay.
don't know
But go ahead,
why.
Robolica. Just talk. Let us know how you are.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay, that
My
wasn't that bad.
chair is covered in sparkles here because I was wearing butterfly wings, fairy wings for a video today.
What? So I saw you. So I've been. I did not know because I was at work. If you were, are you streaming on Thursdays now?
So
I think so. It's like the 80s. Kind of. Let me see if her. I wish I could go onto her computer and see if the input.
not this week. I streamed on Thursday last week because my internet was so what's the word I'm looking for? My internet was so bad that I couldn't I couldn't there it is. I'm gonna try plugging my headphones in through my microphone. That might work.
Yes. And then go to the settings, Robolica, and go to if you can, the little gear, the settings, and see if it'll do.
There we go. Hey, now I can hear.
Now you
That's
can.
so weird.
We're good. Can you hear now?
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
We're good.
Let's
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, hold on. I figured it.
It's my dance.
This is so weird. I can hear the YouTube video, but I can't hear the restream at all.
Oh, that may be an issue with her browser. Usually that's an issue with the browser. Like the browser has muted this tab.
What is going on
You
here?
unmute a tab.
Oh, that could be.
So she goes to the tab, she can right click and it'll say mute site or unmute site.
It's not muted.
Not muted. Never mind, y'all. That's all I had. That's an interesting problem.
Hey, I'm gonna try to leave and come back if that's okay.
Perfect. Technology, y'all. I blame Windows. Hey, Wit. Tomorrow, Wit. I know tomorrow. I'm gonna have to push back tomorrow to Monday. If Wit's still there, she'll know what I mean. I gotta push tomorrow back to Monday, if that's okay. I think you know why. I'm starting to have back spasms. Hey, Rebecca. Oh, let's see if she can come in. What about now? Can you hear us, Rebecca?
I can hear you now.
Oh, we're
muted,
good.
yeah, and I muted YouTube, so I know it's not that. I can definitely hear you.
It may have been just something crossed in the wires. I blame Windows. So what's going on?
Not a whole lot. I have my internet is finally working. It was off for like 5 days. It would like reset every like between 30 seconds and 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can't really do anything online like that. So we troubleshoot like we with the technicians we on the line. Like we tried, they had a tech come out and test everything, and I'm like, I used to do tech support for internet, so I'm like, I think it's the modem. And
so if anybody was going to get this to work, Rebecca is like, I did tech support for you.
Yeah, so I know how to test things, but I don't have access to like the tools to like see the numbers on the lines and stuff like that. So, but everything looked fine, great on the lines, and I'm like, it's the modem. It's definitely the modem.
So now it's working.
So now it's working. We have a new modem. And then I have a switch in here because I actually still have my old computer. It's like at my feet so that I can move files over. So I have like 2 computers. So I have a switch. And I lost connection again and turned off the switch, and it didn't turn back on again.
The Nintendo Switch or the computer?
No. The like the hub, the switch.
The switch of the hub for the. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So it didn't turn back on again. So then there's another problem we had to solve. So it's been a wild ride. So that's why I wasn't streaming on Tuesday, and I had to stream on Thursday last week instead.
I saw that, and someone was like, "Hey, Rebecca's streaming," and I was like, "No, it's not Tuesday." And then I came back home, and I was like, "I missed it." So I feel bad. So.
Well, there wasn't a lot of people who showed up because it was not on my regular day, and I didn't actually advertise it on half of the Discords that I would normally put it on. So.
Be there next time. We'll be there. And then Tuesday I had to pick someone up at the airport. So
yeah,
it was a little distance. But I try to make yours. Yours, Zalix, and Inigo. I try to make.
Yeah.
If I see y'all and I'm available.
Well, I'm hoping to be able to stream like 2 days a week, but right now I can only manage 1. But I'd like to do like maybe an evening one and play something that's not The Sims. Like I played Dune Awakening with Peter all the time.
We'll take this off.
I played Dune Awakening with my husband and some other people. Gladiator. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not.
Gladiator. Did they come? They're not Death Eater.
I don't think
Doom
so.
Eater. No, I don't know Gladiator. There's someone who came into stream before, and they were called Death Eater.
No, he would definitely be. There's Gladiator 50N, I think is what it is.
No, don't know this one.
So, but we have we're in a guild with a couple of other people, some of whom I don't know.
A guild.
Yeah. So in Dune you have guilds, so that you can do stuff as together as a guild.
Okay, so talk to me about Dune Awakening.
Mhm.
So I saw some gameplay.
Mhm.
Several people came in, were like, "Hey, Purple, are you gonna play Dune Awakening?" And I was like, "Well, it wasn't really on my radar." And then like Mario Kart came out like a few weeks later, and so like I just haven't. But talk because you're talking guilds, you're talking to me about connecting with people. What is Dune
Mhm.
Awakening? I know it's Dune, but
Yeah, it's Dune. So it's an alternate timeline where Paul Atreides was never born. Instead, they had a daughter, and her name was what did they call her in it? It's something different. It's not the same name as it is in the books and the movies.
so
But
this
it
is
takes
canon. This isn't like the
no,
actual.
no, 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 no. This is alternate reality. But
Okay.
like everything looks like the Dune movies that came out. I think is there two that are out now. So it looks like everything from that. So like the same architecture.
What type of gameplay?
It's survival. So it's a lot of like um, finding treasure and finding resources, and basically the whole thing is trying to find resources. And when you get to the upper levels of the game, here I'm not facing my camera. So when you get to the upper levels of the game, then it's like you have to sell the resources, and there's like a whole. This is why you want to be in a guild, is because the Landsraad, all the nobility, there's certain every week there's different tasks that they set, and you gain points with the Landsraad. You can vote on changes in the game. It might be temporary, might be more permanent, with however many points you have for the Landsraad. But in the early stages, which is where we're at, um, it's really just you're gathering resources, you're building your shelter, you're exploring the world, and like the starting area is really tiny compared to what they call the deep desert, and it's all PVE except for when you get to the deep desert, then there's areas that are PvP and areas that are PvE.
Oh wow.
So
So, so is there okay? So you said Paul Atreides is not born. So
yeah,
and there's another one who is. Is this central? Because wouldn't this technically make her a Bene Gesserit or whatever they call themselves?
probably. So the mother is a Bene Gesserit.
Right, the mother's a Bene Gesserit, and if but that's so I'm just trying. Sorry if we're ruining Dune for y'all right now, but I'm just really
I mean,
curious
this is the stuff that's in like the introduction of
of the game. Okay,
well,
so
the introduction of the movie, introduction of the game. Like, you know that Jessica is the mother is a Bene Gesserit trained,
right.
and that so the and Paul Atreides is the main character of the movies.
The
But
main
in
movie, but
yeah,
he has the powers of the Bene Gesserit, or
yeah, he was trained with the Bene Gesserit. Yeah,
yeah, and so because he's a male,
yeah,
so that do you get what I'm saying? So is this just like as if now if the daughter of Jessica is not Paul,
hmm
talking about like some gender theory here, like but I'm just saying like would that mean that technically this is not the prophecy?
yeah. So it's a bit different. Yeah. So in this particular one, supposedly all of the Fremen have been killed in the
All the
war.
Freemen have been killed.
That's the theory.
The
Now I don't
theory.
know if they have or not. That's what you're trying to find is the Fremen. So
Oh yeah. Granted, we're chatting Dune. We're chatting Dune. I should have my mom on here because she's actually reading all of them right now. But we're talking Dune. But we're talking different. We're talking different timeline. I'm just trying to set up actual. This is exciting to me. As I said, when we can start to if you I think y'all can see kind of a pattern of things I like is when I can pull games but other passions I have and they all start to meld. So like you're talking to me about Dune, which was a book, which they did
mhm.
a movie, which for some reason nobody likes, but I like it. And now it's the game.
The movie is a little closer to the books than the 1980s movie.
What desert power? Yes. Like I am desert power. Yeah, no. So they have the 1980s movies, and they have the sci-fi, like made for TV, epic, in like 20, like early 2000s. I think that's when that came out. And then the movies today, even though I felt like the second one kind of, I don't know, the second one, I thought they were both decent. Like I thought, like the way they created the world was like the cinematography was really well
Mhm.
done. Um, and then obviously the acting, you have some pretty powerful actors. I thought it was good. Like I'm not gonna say it was bad. Like I'm not like I bought it, so obviously.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've watched, or sorry, I read Dune when I was in high school, like in the 90s, like the 6 books.
Yeah.
So
So
I
it's
kind of
taking
I
back
like,
to that.
so I know I'm more familiar with the Dune universe than Granite is. Granite doesn't really know it so much, so
Uh,
it's always asking me questions. I'm like, oh, I want to tell you about something that you haven't seen yet. You haven't read it yet.
oh, so it hasn't. So you wouldn't know. Oh my god. So I haven't read all of them. So I haven't read
Yeah.
them all. I've read like obviously the Messiah, children. Like I got to there,
Mhm.
children, like around there. I haven't read them recently, but it's definitely one of those like I think books that really captured, or just works of art that really captured politics really well. I thought like
Mhm.
what they were talking about was very um, just kind of shows you like how they were able, because what he was writing about was like based upon a lot of like the 1960s and what was going on right there. Like he was inspired by that, Frank Herbert,
Mhm.
and then you can still use that work today, which I think is super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Frank Herbert's super like, oh my god, you're making me want to like potentially pick this up, but I'm like, oh, I'm so like busy with something else. But it sounds like you
It's
have,
like once you get into it, it's really engrossing. Like you just don't want to put it down. But the really cool thing about it is that the deep desert, the big area where like you're trying to get to, that's like the end game. Every week there's a giant sandstorm and it
what?
changes.
So
So
like you're like, so you start back from the beginning.
so no, the beginning area is behind like a rock shield wall. So
Okay.
it the sandstorm affects it because like it's really windy and you have to be careful not to get caught out when the sandstorm comes through. But the deep desert, which is on the other side of this wall, it completely changes. So like if there was a crashed ship there before where you could go and do a quest and get loot, that ship's gone. But there might be a government testing facility show up, or some ruins might show up.
Oh my goodness. And this is, so I'm reading about this right now, and so right now, is this like the full game or is this early access?
It's the full game,
The full game. It's
I
on
think.
PC, so it's on PC. So shout out to Crow Resin, PC player. And then it eventually is gonna make its way onto the consoles.
Yeah, it's not on console yet.
Not on console yet. And I see what you mean. The art style is that, but it's a survival, so it's more survival.
Hmm.
And how big can your guilds be?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
um, I don't know.
But do you all get on this like together? Like it sounds like you have your community. You're all in this like world together. You're
Yeah,
like,
so we can play together or separately. It doesn't really matter. I'm not very good at the fighting part of it, so I literally and figuratively a sandbox. Um, um, I'm not very good at the fighting part of it, so I don't always do that part when I'm by myself. What I'll do is I'll like gather resources and do building and stuff. Um, oh, okay, Granite says 40 or 50 per guild. So
whoa, 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 whoa. And welcome, Iconic Video Games. If y'all have not checked out Iconic Video Games, 2 shows, one Friday night, one Sunday morning. Both of them are great. Welcome, iconic video games. And I would say something. How do you say it? Welcome, iconic video games. You are the real MVP. I try to do it like he does. All right, go ahead, Ravalika.
Yeah. So where was it? Yeah. So I don't really tend like I try to stay away from like going through the bases or like the crash ships and things because there tends to be a lot of enemies there to fight, and I'm just not that good at it.
No, but I think that's why you have a guild. Like you're probably good at other things, maybe like
Yeah.
gathering resources and everything else, and then you have other people. I loved it. I love this.
Yeah. So
I
if you
love
go
it.
with like, there's also like a party. So when you are playing with other people at the same time, you join up as a party. And so like if we are going to investigate a spot, I'll kind of like stay behind a little bit, and as they kill everybody else, I go and collect all the loot. But everybody can collect the loot, so it's not like one person's getting it. Like everybody gets the loot in the party.
This is super cool. I'm curious to just play it, just to see what it's like, because like I know Dune, like it's definitely something that's come back into like the consciousness, like the ether of
Mm-hmm.
mainstream, which is really cool. Um, something to be said about all that like sci-fi that came out of like post-nuclear war, like Cold War-esque type of the world, and the reason I just find that there's a lot of relevance in today, and it's maybe worth like this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Like these things that have very solid storytelling, very solid IP. I think that's how we get out of, even though it sounds like this is a live service game, I'm okay with it because it does seem like you're actually paying for like a base game, right?
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So
And I mean, there is going to be DLC in the future, but it's a lot more of like, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like decorative packs, like build packs, right? So instead of having right now they have, I think there's really just so far I've only seen 4 different architecture styles, and like there's going to be more packs come out later on that have different architecture styles with different items that you can get.
and if I'm putting this correctly, Ravalika, you are going to be. Is this the game you're going to be streaming? The second game you're going to be streaming?
Maybe I haven't decided yet. I mean, really, the only games I'm playing right now is Disney Dreamlight Valley, Blueprints, and Dune, and The Sims.
You're still playing Blueprints.
Oh, I'm still playing Blueprints. I just had day 79, so I'll be on day 80 the next time I log in.
Goodness, what are you? I would have thought you, because you like you beat the main part.
Yes.
Day 39, 38.
Yeah.
And so you did that.
Yep.
But what are you still exploring?
There's more puzzles. There's so much more to find out. And it's like once you really get into it, like there's so much extra stuff to find out.
Oh my goodness. See, I'm gonna wait. I may jump back in because I'm playing it. I played it through, I believe it was PlayStation subscription service,
Mhm.
and I love it. But now I'm like on Switch all the time because it's just so easy to play Switch. So I'm hoping Blueprints comes to Switch so I can like jump back in it, and obviously I'll start back from day 0. But once you kind of know like certain things, like I'm curious how I would play it now.
Like what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for clues for like these huge like meta puzzles that like absorb the whole like you just see little clues of it everywhere you go, and you don't even know until you get to a certain point that those are clues.
Okay. So I've heard this. I've heard that there's like these huge like the rooms and like, and I have not got like, I did not uncover that. Like obviously I started to see some patterns, especially with some of the notes that were around, or is there some stuff that like I was like, okay, that's not really what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
But you're right. I do remember there being people are like, you realize like everything is so intentional in the game.
Yeah. And there's some things that I know I need certain combinations of rooms to get it to work, and getting those combinations is like really difficult.
Oh my god.
And like the last 3 days that I've played, no, the last 4 days that I've played, 3 of them, I've only gotten 10 rooms.
Why? Because are you just saying like I'm done? Or is
No,
it because the
I
combination is
turned the
so
wrong
narrow?
way, and there's no doors heading north, or I ran out of keys, or had no keys to begin with. So
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! That's so interesting. Like so, Torino Johnson, he comes by sometimes. He's like on day 230 something. He's like,
mhm.
I'm like, how did you get that far? Like, but you're saying there's like, so I'm excited for it. If it comes to Switch, I'll probably jump back into it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so much fun, and like some of the days take me an hour and a half to play through a day because there's just so much to do.
Like, I'm so curious how you're playing now. So why don't you stream this? Why don't you say, hey, like day 80, I'm gonna be streaming. But then I'm curious, like what you're doing.
Well, because that's the game that I play when I'm watching the kids, because I can just drop it if I have to. Like,
Yeah, you
there's
could.
no penalty to just like leaving it sitting for an hour while I go and do something else.
Yeah, because as long as you're still in there, it's not going to count the day against you.
Right,
Right. And if you don't move, it's actually benefits you if you're not moving, so you don't use up your steps.
right, right.
And the music in it is kind of very ominous. I don't know. The music is kind of very
A little bit, yeah.
just a
And
little.
it's really neat because in different areas, like if you're outside the house, the footsteps sound different than they do if you're in the house.
Right. Well, I know in the house it's very much like, well, depending on the floor, right? You're like the clicking, the clicking, the
Mhm.
clicking, the clicking. And then
Yeah,
outside, you do have like a softer if you're in like the
like
kind
a
of the garden.
kind of on the
Yeah,
grassy
no,
area. Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. As I said, I think it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year because they always do like an indie in the Game of the Year nomination. So I think it's by far gonna be in the indie Game of the Year
I
nomination.
could see that. I could definitely see that. It is a really fun game.
Yeah. So well, my goodness, I'm gonna have to. You're making me want to jump back into it. Uh oh, am I frozen?
No.
Okay, I can see you now. I can see you now. Let me. All right, there we go. Let me see if I can. I closed out all my tabs, so we're
But
good.
yeah, I have no idea how much longer I have to play to get all the clues that I need. Like one day I was like, "Oh, I found out so much stuff for this one puzzle," and I go down there to try to solve it, and I still need two more pieces of information. I could guess with one missing, but with two, it was just too hard.
Too hard. Oh my god, I'm curious what puzzle it is.
So
I'm curious if I've even seen it. Probably not. Probably not. You're so far ahead. So, or not even far ahead, but you're just more. Your time in the game is more advanced than mine.
yeah,
Sure.
I mean there was a few little things that I looked up, like, well, cheating, I guess, but I looked up for hints because like um I was using like real life dates and time instead of in-game dates and time. And then I had to look up like what day did this actually start on? Because I didn't remember.
Oh my good. Like, oh, interesting. I would have to like you're saying in the game dates.
Yeah. It's like it starts on like November or something. I forget what.
I know there's certain times like I would have to go back. I kind of like I said I'm somewhat deliberately waiting for it to for me to jump back in. It's just so I can rediscover it. Here's a question: do you think that they will? I haven't read this, and maybe they've already announced it. Do you think they'll create like a DLC to Blueprints or an expansion to Blueprints?
There is something in there that says that there will be something added in a later update. So I don't know if it's going to be DLC or just an update.
Interesting. I'm so interested. Have your mic going up and down, or is the volume consistent for her in her ear? Am I going up and down, y'all? I'm so.
Yeah, you are. But like to me, my mic sounds constant, but
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. It could be mine. My mic could be breaking. So I'm sorry. All right. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, we convinced a Discord friend the game is called Blueprints because the prince is blue from holding his. Oh my goodness. No, I think it wasn't until I think it was day 10 that it dawned on me why it was Blueprints.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um uh yeah, it's Purple's mic. Yeah, it is Mike. It's my mic. It's my mic. Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah, my mic actually so I'm on my oops, I hit my mic. I'm on my new computer now downstairs. And when I first connected my mic, I had a lot of problems with it. It took me a while to figure out why it wasn't working because it kept dropping off like the ends of my sentences. But on mine it was that the gain was turned way down and I didn't know how to turn it up. I guess it didn't have the same settings from the old computer. Oh, I can't hear you at all.
I'm gonna have to
Nope,
re-listen
now I
to
can
it.
hear you.
I'm gonna have to re-listen to it tomorrow to see, or maybe tonight if I stay up late enough to see what because y'all said that earlier, and so stuff like this. I'm just gonna troubleshoot. I blame PC. I blame Windows. That's the problem. I'm joking. It's probably like a loose wire or something. I was
Yeah.
just trying to see where in the chain it was breaking. It's over here. It's always me. If it's tech issues, it's me. Always. But then I also have like an unstable connection. Something's going on with my modem, and I need to go switch it out or something because the signal is it's something there with the signal. So
Mhm.
maybe I'll do that this weekend. Who knows? We'll see. So, all right. So you got me super excited about playing Blueprints again. You got me excited about this Dune Awakening. So like I'm super excited about it. When is your next date? When are you going to start? I know it's still an idea, but when are you going? What day are you thinking about streaming? You know,
I don't know. See, the problem is if I try to do it at night is I'm tired. And one of my kids doesn't always sleep through the night. So sometimes I'm up half the night with him and then I'm just so exhausted the next day. It's too hard to schedule a date. So, but I was thinking of maybe doing like a 10 o'clock ish, 10:30 ish start for streaming at night. I haven't decided yet. Or the other option is that's not so easy in the summer, but I could try to do another afternoon stream. So,
well, let us know. We got Zaylik's time kind of works well because she streams like super late at night, so like we pick it up in the morning.
mhm.
Or sometimes she streams in the morning and we pick it up after the show. But then just let us know your afternoon one because there's not a lot of people who stream during the afternoon.
No, and there's also not a lot of people who watch during the afternoon.
Yeah,
So-
no, there's that. I guess the side.
Yeah, there's a Sims streamer I watch, and he usually streams at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then on like Wednesdays he streams at 11, and there's half as many people watch the 11 o'clock one.
Wow.
So, it's harder during the day.
Wow.
So, but yeah, it's so funny because you're so excited about Dune and Blueprints, and like The Sims 4 today had a trailer come out for the new expansion pack that comes out in 2 weeks. So I'm all excited about that.
That's what it's about, though. That's what it's about. Like, no, but I love when people have energy about like. That's why I left that one to the end because I was like, that's gonna be my energy thing. But it's like I'm really excited. But if you're super excited about Sims, as long as you're excited about something, like I think right now gaming has an issue where people aren't excited about anything, but they still need that emotional drive, so they turn to negativity.
Mm-hmm.
And that and they say women are emotional, but like dudes in gaming are very emotional, and so they turn to negativity, and everything becomes a negative because they're looking, in my opinion, for that emotional release.
Well, I think too, like negative attention is still attention, and
Yes.
and it's unfortunate because that's the one that seems to get the most the most clicks is the negative attention.
But even if it's even for people who don't stream, it could
Mhm.
just be people who are in chat, comments, and so forth, and they're looking. It's like this negativity, and I know this isn't the first time in history that society has become very pessimistic, or there's this portion of society that's very pessimistic. And I think the thing that I would like to show is that there is still joy. Like you have to like put it on yourself to find those moments of joy. Like,
Mhm.
and that to me is like kind of the next level.
Oh, I was gonna say you should have seen my video from today. I was dressed up like a fairy.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to go back to
It
watch
wasn't
this.
that was a YouTube one, so it's not a live one.
Oh my god.
That's a
Okay,
YouTube
so
one.
it's on YouTube. It's a video. Do we
Yeah.
have it on the Discord? I don't know if we have your YouTube Discord.
I
So
haven't posted anything on YouTube for a while. I've been having a hard time getting my videos edited.
So we're gonna have to get your YouTube Discord so we update that. I know we have Zalik who's on YouTube as well sometimes. So at the vocals, other vocal mics prefer the side on position. Sure needs to point at the speaker's mouth. I don't know, Marcus. I'm trying to do it like this. So we'll see. Marcus is determined to get me my mic working. I will try it. But okay. But that's my thing about gaming and why I try to show what I'm excited about as far as games. And I think I did that today.
Mm.
So all right. So you got those. So you're excited about the Sims.
Yeah.
Sims Storage
Oh,
drop in.
it's fairies. That's
Fairies. I'm gonna have to see
fairies.
this. I'm gonna have
So
to see this.
there's 5. Well, there's 6 occults. I guess 7 if you count ghosts in The Sims so far, and so they're adding fairies in the next expansion pack.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to see this and how this
Like-
plays out.
Living off the land and alchemy. No, not alchemy. What's the word? Where you make potions and stuff.
Yeah, alchemists.
Yeah, I guess it's alchemist.
Are you turning one element into another element?
Well, it's not turning one another element into the other. It's more making like healing potions and things. But anyways, so it's like this whole new skill and like you can do a career and stuff. It's looks really good. I can't wait. And then all of the build stuff is very whimsical is the word everyone's using. It's a lot of like braided wood and like trees and very natural looking. And then like wisteria dripping from like everything and
Okay, I'm super excited to watch you play this now.
So-
So you showed off the gameplay in the fairy outfit. So you did that, but the game had the new expansion hasn't come out.
No, it was just the trailer. So it was like a reaction to the trailer, and then like I slowed it right down and did kind of like a deep dive, and then as a little while I was editing it, I'm like trying to describe all of the skin tones that are currently in the game, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna like show it. So I have like a little insert in there with like all the different skin tones that are currently available. And
Super. Oh, I love this. I love this.
so
Sims always, it's just been doing it since day one. Love it.
Sims is amazing. I love the game. And it's like another thing is now you have to, with certain plants, you have to water them to keep them alive. And they haven't had that since the original Sims game.
Well, I'm a plant person, so and that might be an understatement. And I was like, yes, you do need to water plants to keep them alive.
Yep.
I love this. Oh my goodness. So okay. So when does it come out? And
It comes out on July 10th.
that's not far at all.
Yeah, and the Sims base game is free, so like it's free to play. So you can like on PC, on Xbox, PlayStation. It's not on Nintendo, but the base game.
Coming though, it's coming.
If it comes to the Switch, I'm definitely getting it on the Switch. So.
I will play. Like that's my thing right now. Is that like I'm playing a lot on the Switch, and it makes sense to come to the Switch because you have the mouse support. I don't even want to call it a mouse, but you have that type of support. And because I'm playing so much on, because I'm on there so much now, like, okay, yeah, it's like an hour and a half a day. Like, it's not like 12 hours a day. But yeah, I'm on there. I would love to see it on there as something like, because I think The Sims, when I played it, was kind of like that game that I would come to like kind of decompress. And
Hmm.
I'm always looking for more games to do that with. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that was for years. It was well, The Sims 2 is my favorite, and I played that like right up until after The Sims 4 came out. So The Sims 2 came out in 2004. Sims 4 came out in 2014. And I played The Sims 2 for probably at least another 2 years after that. And then I had to stop because I just didn't have time because I had two children. So,
That makes sense. It makes sense.
so, so yeah. So I hadn't played The Sims 4 for 6 years, and I came back to that in 2021, I think it was. And it was just like I just dove right back in again.
I love it. I love that you have it. Like, I like that you left, but you came back to it, and now it seems like it's part of you again.
Yeah. Well, part of it was like my old laptop would turn off before the game loaded because it was overheating. So,
So
so
shout out to Granite and family again for getting Ravalica a new PC for Mother's Day.
oh yeah.
Cool. Like the best gift.
I mean, with this new computer, I could play Inzoi if I wanted to, which I'm not sure if I want to or not because it's kind of creepy. A
You
little
don't do
bit.
horror. You don't do horror.
Well, it's not horror. It's like Uncanny Valley. Like they look too real.
What you,
Inzoi is like The Sims, only like
creepy.
creepy because it's Uncanny Valley, but it's in early access right now. And then there's another life sim coming out called Paralives. So that's coming out, I think, in December. They're coming out in early access. So, yeah,
I'm excited.
because The Sims is like the only like life sim like main one for like 20 years.
No, well, they had some that were. I only know this because there's a channel that goes to like these supposedly dead games, but there are some internet games that are like life sim s type of
Yeah,
games. But like, and when I say internet, they're like, it's like you pay a membership and you're in like this meta.
yeah. Well, there was The Sims Online for a while.
Yeah.
That was weird, and I did not get involved in that one.
Yeah, but there's a lot. There's a couple of these different ones that have like still communities of like 220, like small community, but they've been there for years.
Hmm.
So, but no, Sims is definitely like obviously
Yeah,
game, like actual game.
yeah. So, but we're hoping because The Sims has the same problem like every other EA game probably has, is that bugs are really bad and they don't get fixed, or they don't get fixed very fast. And there are some major bugs right now in The Sims, but most of them are getting fixed next week. In the they always do a big patch update before new expansion packs, and so there's one where the weather won't stay outside. So it was raining and snowing indoors. That's being fixed on next Tuesday. So
That's a
um,
good. I mean, if it's a life sim, I would have thought that was like.
well, you know what? That's why when The Sims 2 first came out, I saw a video that they were working on weather for the base game. And the reason why it wasn't released in the base game was because they couldn't stop it from raining inside. So they had to wait. They came out in an expansion pack a few years later.
Few years?
Yeah, a few years. It was not the first expansion pack. It was like the fourth or fifth one.
I can imagine the Sims community. I can
So
imagine.
it's so weird though, because it's like people are going on and on about how why isn't weather based game, and it's like, well, it never has been.
Oh my goodness. I'm curious. So Rebecca, you're like my connection to the Sims. And so which I love. And so I definitely am looking forward to like this new expansion. I'm curious what it's like. I know Ambi, he plays the Sims, and I think Wit also has played the Sims a little bit. We may have a couple of other. It seems like Marcus knows a little bit about it. So, but I'm excited about this. I'm excited, and like I said, if it to your point, if it comes to Switch, I might be jumping into that. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I can't guarantee, but the base game is free to play on all the other systems. Sorry. So I don't see why it wouldn't also be free to play on the Nintendo, because all the expansion packs still cost money.
Which we know are thousands and thousands of dollars.
And there are 98 DLC items at this point in time.
That you've bought every single one of.
Yeah. Now, some of them are like in US dollars. So some of them are only $5. Those are like the little kits. And some of them are $40 US. So that's the expansion packs. And then there's 2 other levels in between.
And you've bought them all.
Not all at once. And
well,
most
yeah, definitely.
And like at least half of them I bought on like sales and bundles and stuff.
Okay. So at least you're smart. At least you're getting bang for your buck. Like you're getting, and you're utilizing. I actually don't find wrong. Like
I don't play, like, I know some people, like, they seem to play a new game every week or every month or whatever. It's like, I've played the same, like, 4 games.
Like, that's all you need. That's all you need. And welcome. Shout out to And Your Mama Knows. Yes, Little Nightmares 3 Cowboy. It is a thing. It is what I was most excited about for the stream, was that part of it, for sure. Granite pulls out his calculator. I could imagine, Granite, as you're hearing this, you're like,
now, there were a couple of things I got for free, too. Like, there was like one of the kits, little $5 kits. If you already owned the Sims 4 base game at that point, when it came out, when it went free, they gave the one kit to everyone who already owned the base game.
That's cool. That's cool.
So, I mean, it's a $5. Well, it's $7 in Canada, but it's just a little, like, 25 items. But
that's still, I mean, let's be okay. EA giving something for free is not a normal thing.
No, and actually over the last year and a half, they have given away a lot of the kits for free. We just had to claim them. So
okay. That's good. So there we go, Granite. It's good.
No. So yeah, that's, I don't know.
No, well, like I said, I'm looking forward to you anytime someone's passionate about something. Or just has a lot of interest, a lot of positivity around it. That's something I get behind. So, like, you playing The Sims, like me catching you play The Sims when I can catch you, it's definitely it brings me back. Even though I haven't played The Sims in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's still super cool to see, and like, oh wow, they changed this to that. It's a very different game. So that's super
cool. And I pretty much only ever play like challenges that people have written, which means like you give yourself like arbitrary rules that you have to follow. So like the one that I've been streaming, it's the Not So Berry challenge, and so each generation is based off of a color. So like the traits are all whatever traits are that color in the game, and like there's a career that goes with it and things like that. So like right now I have an alien who just married an alien and she's pregnant with twins. So it's like the storytelling is really something. It's really something, like you really get into it. Another challenge that I'm playing, it's called the Royal Kingdom Challenge. And that one starts with 11 families, and I'm on generation 3, and I'm up to like 32 or 33 families that I play a week in each family and then go to the next family. So it's called rotational play.
So how long that's going to take you? Like a year?
A few months. Yeah.
Goodness.
And it's just like I had like this playthrough that I just finished not too long ago. I called it the Red Wedding because the family's color, like I color code them so it tell them apart. The red family had a wedding, and it was a heat wave. And I told everyone to show up in red, but they didn't show up in their hot weather wear in red. So So 2 Sims died of heat.
Oh no, they died. She laughs it off.
I brought them back. Well, I brought one back, and the other one is a ghost who lives in her household still. But yeah.
I mean, goodness. I'm curious about the engine of The Sims. So yeah, that is The Sims. So Rouster, or no, not Rouster, Simpleton. I see you, Rouster. All right, Rouster. Have a good night. Hopefully all is well. But yeah, Simpleton said, I don't think I've ever played a Sims game. Well, Sims is literally a simulator. It is a life simulator.
The Sims
And
franchise is 25 years old now.
yeah, it's like the original one. It's one of the original metas or metaverses. And obviously people still go in. You can basically do so much in the game. And yeah, I think it's making a comeback as well. I think so many things are making like their comeback right now. So, definitely super. And I saw you, Marcus. You do not play, Marcus. It is late over there. Thank you for or super early for you right now. Thank you for staying up with us. But yeah. So I'm excited for you, Rebecca. It sounds like you have everything going. You're good. And your garden, how's your garden doing? I have to ask this.
I have to replant a bunch of tomatoes because they just dried up and withered and disappeared. But my eggplants are doing extremely well. And I have a whole pile of squash coming up. Peas. My peas are like 3 or 4 feet high. Like it was a lot really cold here in the beginning of June. So everything was late. Even the peas that I planted in like beginning of May didn't come up until June.
Same here. Our weather has been really wet. And so my mom does a lot of like food, like produce and that type of like gardening. But it's just been so weird. Like with all my blooms are kind of off. Certain things aren't even growing because it was like super wet. Today we got into the 100. It's like I feel really bad for the plants just because they're going through like so much variation. It's not a
well, we just had a heat wave, and then that's been pouring rain for like 2 days. So.
Yeah, we're about to get to the rain phase here, and it's like I feel like because I was watering the plants like twice a day because it was so hot, but now we're getting dumped with water after we had just. It's like it's so hard right now. Like my indoor plants are doing well because I can control that, but like my lilies and.
Well, and I'm having a hard time with pests too. So we had some sort of caterpillar that ate all the boxwoods.
Yes, you're talking about oh my goodness, isn't it the moth? It's the certain moth. The gypsy moth.
It's not the gypsy moth. It was something different, but it only eats boxwood.
Boxwoods are so hardy.
Right? Like we had some in our flower bed that were probably like 15 years old or more, but I never really liked them. So because they basically died, I took them all out. So now I'm putting in black-eyed Susans and echinacea, like a purple coneflower, and plants I like.
Oh my goodness. So you're taking a hedge and putting in like some show plants.
Yeah. Oh, but I also have tomatoes and peppers planted in there too. They're kind of fancy tomatoes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I like my box. I just actually replanted a boxwood the other week, so I'm really looking forward to. I don't know. My boxwoods serve. There's different types of boxwoods, and so obviously I have like your traditional like boxwood, but then I also have I forget what it's called, but it's like the one. It's like a very light yellow, or like it's like a snow peak. Like I forget what they call it, but that's actually my favorite of them. They're all I like them all, but that one's.
I collect varieties. I have like I probably have 10 varieties of hostas, and I started 48 different varieties of tomatoes.
Later, simpleton.
And like 36 varieties of peppers. I have 10 different varieties of eggplant. I planted 6 different varieties of zucchini. So, and my zucchini, they're all like this tall. So,
that's pretty impressive. That's really impressive.
So,
like, no, well, I have like 3 different types of hostas. Unfortunately, deer have gotten a hold of like the really pretty. It's like a really big yellow ear. It's like I think it's called a big ear hosta. anyway, they've gotten a hold of that, and so I'm having a lot of deer problems right now.
Mm. I
Um,
had something ate a bunch of leaves off of my current bush, and something else ate all the leaves off of the volunteer tomatillos from last year. Which I still have like a bushel of tomatillos in the freezer to do something with, so wasn't gonna grow any. So those are just gonna come out of the garden because I don't need them.
don't eat them. No, but still, it's so good. I love it. Well, obviously, I can talk about gardening all time, all day. Um, but no, well, Rebecca, I'm super excited just to get to talk to you. I get to talk, and I'm gonna dig more into the Sims. I need to like dig into it just for my own. It's such a marquee like franchise.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm really curious about blueprints, and then I got you gave me homework, so I'm excited. You've given me homework on gaming stuff. But with that, I'm about to. Anything you want to tell everybody? Like, where can they find you? I know we have your channel there, but anywhere else?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitch usually Tuesday afternoons. I try to start between around 1:30 Eastern time, but over the summer I might move that up because I have to end sooner. So I'll probably start around 12:30 or 1. Um, and then I do have some stuff that I do on YouTube as well. Usually not live on YouTube. Usually I do like pre-recorded things on YouTube. And I'm working on it, but I also usually upload my Twitch streams, like edited, shortened, take out the loading screens type of thing, onto YouTube as well. So um, cut out the boring parts.
Oh my god, no, that's okay. Well, y'all, Rebecca's a great streamer. Obviously, she's um talked to us about. She's talked about the kind of the 3 to 4 games she plays. And as you can see, super cool, super just down to earth. I always appreciate when other women come on, and she's come on a couple of times, and she's always in chat, and also plays Mario Kart with us. She took kind of led her team there a couple of times, so definitely a solid player.
when
Definitely,
Granite's not playing, Switch 2 because we only have the one. Although we can play together, we could, but
that's,
yeah.
that's what Wit does. Wit plays with her brother together on the streams. So,
Yeah, usually though it's like right around the time that our kids go to bed. So
oh yeah, y'all are correct.
so only one of us is able to play because the other person's busy.
Well, yeah. Well, I appreciate it all the time. And granted, he's an aggressive racer. As I say, he's very aggressive.
I always think
Uh,
I'm a really poor racer until I realize that I'm racing against him.
yeah, no, Granite's very aggressive on the track. And Invincible, who was in earlier, they race different, but they're very Ambi's very good. Everybody's very good in the group. So, but no, well, thank you, Rebecca. You're always welcome. Again, thank you so much for just coming by and talking just everything from gaming to Boxwoods and to Marcus Gene. I see you there. All I will say is my Boxwoods are they're my bush. So that's what I'll say. No joking. I'm not gonna keep it. But they are. But with that, I will. Like I said, this Saturday I am going to be streaming Orcs Must Die with for sure with Rouser will be there, and then Sunday we are doing we're doing Switch Mario Kart Deluxe 8 and Mario Kart World. So if you own any of those, come by. It's super fun to have you. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna end this like how I always end it. I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, take care, y'all, and I'll see you on the next one later.